Welcome back, welcome back. Okay, how are you doing? Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed some sports out there. We're back with another episode. And we're going to kick it off with baseball and its standings and what's going on. We'll kick it off with the American League, AL East. Yankees 56-20. Woo. Blue Jays 42-32, 13 games behind. Boston 42-33, 13 and a half. Rays 40-34, 15 games behind. Oh, I want to give a shout out to the Baltimore fucking Orioles. They had their first winning month of baseball since fucking 2017.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
First winning month since 2017. If that doesn't scream holy shit, I suck, I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't even know it was that bad.
Yeah, I didn't know it was either. I'm watching the game the other day, and all of a sudden it just popped up on the bottom of the screen and said, "No fucking way."
Damn.
That's the epitome of fucking up, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, the AL Central, the Twins are leading it with a record of 43-34. The Cleveland Indians are 37 and 34, 3 games behind. The White Sox 35 and 38, 6 games behind. Tigers 28 and 45, 13 games behind. And the Kansas City Royals 27 and 47, 14 and a half games behind. I'm really surprised at this division. I expected more from Chicago.
Like we've been saying, they're young. They sustained some injuries this year. They had their fair share of injuries last year. It's taken them a little bit longer to get their feet underneath them,
Feet
or
underneath them.
whatever you want to call it. But I'm actually surprised the Indians are playing as well as they are. I did not see them being in second place and 3 games out of first place, almost on the 1st of July.
Well, outside of team wise and maybe skill, I figured that they would have to be in the playoffs in the next coming couple years just because of that name change.
The name, why would the name change automatically like now catapult them into being a playoff team?
Just because to get people used to that name. You know what I mean? That was just my feeling. That was my feeling. I figured within a couple years that they would be in the playoffs to some magnitude, where everybody would be like, "Oh, fucking Cleveland Guardians are in the playoffs." Kind of erases that narrative of the Indians. Kind of puts that to bed. Now, if they suck, everybody's gonna be like, same Cleveland Indians. They still fucking suck. You can change their name. It doesn't fucking matter.
I really don't think I don't think it matters at all. They're not a bottom of the league team, but you know, they float somewhere in like the middle-ish towards the bottom.
Look, if it wasn't for the movie Major League,
nobody would.
We
know.
would still not give a shit about Cleveland. Like, come on.
Outside of Cleveland,
Like Joakim Noah used to say, I ain't never heard nobody going to fucking Cleveland on vacation. Nobody goes to Ohio to go to vacation. This is just a fact.
Unless you're going to the Football Hall of Fame,
you just passing through.
Yeah, you're on Route 66. Just
yeah,
get out.
You fucking 80 right by. Dad, what was that? Dad, was Ohio. Why aren't we going there? That is like Simba when he was with Mufasa. Everything the light touches, we own. Well, what about that dark patch over there? You don't fucking go over there. Oh, whoa, that's Cleveland. Don't go over there. The AL West, Houston Astros is still chugging along, 47 and 27. I think, low key, they're the best team in baseball right now. They're playing the best, and they're playing the best competition within the past 2 weeks.
I mean, look, and they're playing the Yankees again coming up, I think, soon. They don't have the record like the Yankees do, but as far as pedigree, as far as experience, as far as
cheating,
and all that, and everything going on, I feel like that is the one team that is really going to be able to compete with the Yankees.
Yeah, I think that's one team that can actually, like, if it's the way it's looking right now, if the Yankees were to play anybody in the playoffs, Houston's the one team that can take them out.
100%.
The Rangers, 36 and 38, they're 11 out. The Angels, 36 and 41. The Mariners, 35 and 41. The Athletics, 25 and 52.
I'll tell you what, the Mariners might only be 35 and 41. They just made a trade the other day for Carlos Santana from the Indians. I mean, look at the Blue Jays, look at the Red Sox, and look at the Rays. Those three teams are only separated by about a game and a half or 2 games.
Yeah.
If the Mariners can catch fire and continue to play well and maybe add another piece, maybe it's not going to be a super significant piece from the outside looking in, but from their perspective, it should help them. I can see them definitely making a push for that third wild card spot. And I'm also going to say that I watch them a lot. I do. I watch those late games from the East Coast, those 10, 15 games. I've been watching the Mariners a lot, and they're fun to watch. They are. They definitely.
Well, they've been a sneaky team. Besides that 1 year where they went, fucking absolute buck nutty with the 116 wins. They've always been like one of those sneaky teams that are like, they're competitive, and then they disappear for like 5 years. They're competitive for like 3 years, then they disappear for 5 years.
No, I wouldn't really say that, but I mean, I would say over the course of the last couple years, they've kind of been somewhat competitive to agree early on, and then they just.
Dude, once Ichiro left, I was like, no reason to fucking watch them anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, 100%.
If it's playoff baseball, you're gonna watch anybody. So I wouldn't care if they were in playoff baseball, but it's like, I understand you're watching the 10 o'clock games. There's no way I'm putting on a Mariners game unless Otani's pitching against them, because there's no way.
I get it, but honestly, it's like Robbie Ray. He pitched a phenomenal game last night. Jesse Winker's getting hot, and it's.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I'll tell you what. It's more fun to watch them on a night-to-night basis than it is the Angels. The Angels,
it's understandable. It's agonizing to watch them. They have such a good team batting order wise, and they just I don't know. I feel bad for Otani and Trout because Otani's out here hitting 2 home runs one night, losing a game. He drives in 8 runs. The next day he goes out and puts up fucking 8 innings, 13 Ks, 2 hits, no runs.
Right.
They win that game. So it's like, how much tread is that guy gonna have left on a tire? And especially for the way that they're using him, and they're not going anywhere. Now they started off the year pretty fucking hot. Then they dropped like shit in a bag out of an airplane.
Yeah.
They hit concrete hard.
Like what you were saying about the Mariners, or they're kind of like competitive, but they're not. Now that I'm looking at their record over the course of the last 10 years, aside from where they are this year, last year they were 90-72. They just missed the playoffs. The year before that was the pandemic-shortened year. The year before that, they were 68-74. But the last couple years after that, 89 wins, 78, 86, 76, 87. So they've been more competitive than I thought they were.
Yeah, but,
I just didn't.
But this is a division that's been owned by either the Astros or
the Angels
or the this is the Astros or the Athletics or the Angels, or you know what I mean.
I mean, the Athletics have had their years here and there where they won 90 games, made the playoffs. The Rangers had their little stretch where they made the World Series back in 2014, 2013, 2014, whatever. No, I'm sorry, 2010, 2011, right around there. But other than that, honestly, for like the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's just been the Astros.
Yeah. Now, before we move on to the National League standings, I want to talk about that brawl.
Now, it was I seen the clip on that, and then I was reading an article about it on ESPN, and there's a chick that she's a Seattle Mariner fan. She DoorDashed a pizza and had the pizza delivered to the stadium, and on the notes for the delivery said, "This is for Jesse Winker."
Oh my God!
I seen that. I was like, because of that, I followed her on Twitter. I was like, I love that. I do.
I mean, how did it go so far? Blow the fuck up, simmer down, and then re-blow the fuck up.
I don't know. From what I seen, there was I think it was Winker got thrown at and he almost got hit.
No, I think he did get hit, didn't he?
Maybe, I don't remember. I think it was above the head, and then I remember seeing that the manager for the Angels was mouthing off and saying something, and then Winker heard it and he started fucking walking over to the other team's dugout and then.
Well, I love it. Just to be honest with you, I love it. I love that we're out there brawling.
Yeah.
One thing I never understood, though, is when the guys jump the wall, right, or they come out the bullpen door, they run to the brawl, right?
Right.
How come they don't start kicking the shit out of each other?
Oh, yeah.
I never understood that. Like, if I was a pitcher, and I'm in a bullpen, and there's a brawl, and the gate's open, I'm not running to the brawl. I'm knocking somebody out as soon as they step out of that pen. Wow! Number two, though, realistically, the umpires. My question before is how did it blow up, simmer down, then blow up again? Where are the umpires in this?
Well, you got to figure there's only uh,
4 or 5?
something like that. You got home. There's the one that's by second. Then you have the two that are on the foul line. So I think there's four.
All right. So barring 4 to 5, why don't they have extra people, extra umps, for that reason to start to get them separated, because they kind of got them separated a little bit. The ball was breaking up, then the ball came back in. It's like, guys, what? I understand there's only 4 of you, and then there's like 20 some odd fucking people on the field from each fucking team.
Yeah.
But there's got to be, they need help, or there's got to be more accountability put on them to, all right, the fight broke out. Hockey, they get it perfect. All right, you guys want to throw some punches? Throw some punches. When I say it's done, that's it.
And then you both go to the box. You both get 5 minutes for fighting, and that's it.
And then we move the fuck on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now, baseball, all right, look, eject them. Boom, 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 you're out. That's it. Once that little fight, the little scrum breaks out, you break it up. All right, you, get the fuck out. That's it.
I mean, obviously, within that brawl, because I remember reading like a day or two after it that 12 guys ended up getting suspended. Yeah. Obviously, there had to have been more fists and stuff thrown than what we saw.
Well, yeah, probably somebody called somebody Jackie or moron or something like that, and then feathers just kept flying. But
yeah,
I love it. I love when they fight in baseball. I love it. Like I said before, I would really appreciate it if these bullpen pitchers would just start knocking each other out before running to the brawl.
Like you come
to
out
do nothing.
The bullpen, you're making a beeline towards home plate. You're running. You look over. Wait, and you just go with the bullpen.
Imagine being the announcer, during that. You're up in the booth. You're like, oh, they're brawling down by home plate. Oh, holy shit! Someone got laid out in the outfield. Now they're going out. Both groups are coming together. It's absolute pandemonium here at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like watching like a backyard brawl between like kids in like a sandlot or something like that.
Yeah. All right, we'll all meet at the ballpark at 3:30. All right, why don't you cover the National League for us?
Alrighty, National League Central. The Brewers are in first. They're 44-33. The Cardinals are in second. They're a game out. They're 43-34. The Pirates are 30-45.
They're not the Pittsburgh. They're not the Pittsburgh Pirates anymore. They're the Pittsburgh O'Neills. Because that is the only fucking person on that team.
Well, they also have Brian Reynolds too. He hit 3 home runs today.
What did he do all the rest of the season?
He's got 15 home runs on a year, so he's having a good year. The Cubs are 28-46. They're 14.5 out. And the Reds are 26-47. They're 16 games out. Oh, fuck, there's a sneeze coming in. It's like, it's just going to come right in the middle of me talking. Watch. In the East, the Mets are in first. They're 47-29. This is their first 3-game losing streak for the year.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah, and the Braves have caught up. They're 43-32. They're 3.5 out. The Phillies, they're 39-36. They're 7.5 out. The Marlins are 33-40. They're 12.5 out. And the Nationals, 29-49. They're 19 games out.
Sheesh.
The Dodgers are in first in the West. They're 45-28. Padres are in second. They're 45-31. They're a game and a half out.
Yeah, it's
Giants are 40-30. They're 5 out. Diamondbacks 34-41, 12 games back, and the Rockies are 33-42. They're 13 games out.
Weeks ago we discussed how baseball is playing catch up as in terms of like all the other sports and the action that's going on. I can tell you why it's this interesting to watch baseball right now, especially if you live in Cincinnati. The year's done. It's done. It's 26-47. The year's done. So what's the fucking point of me even going to a ball game?
I mean,
you're basically going just to watch them get the shit kicked out of them.
I mean, in this, I get it. You know, like if you think about it like that, you gotta figure. All right, look at the Athletics. I was reading an art. Remember last week when I told you about the money that they were given that's supposed to get injected back into the team to get players.
Mm-hmm.
And within that article, I was reading that they're literally averaging less than like 3,000 fans a game.
Yeah.
It's like
Their minor league game, their minor league team gets more fans
probably
going.
yeah. So
No, I think it was about a month ago they had it on ESPN. They said that their fucking minor league team had more fucking fans in attendance than their regular season game.
that's sad.
But to that
So
point,
what is this gonna become major league back to the minors where the AAA team is gonna play the major league team to put some butts in the seats?
yeah. I, but that's my point. Like if you're a young kid and you know you kind of like baseball, but you want to get into baseball, and you live in Cincinnati or you live
In
for
one of these
Christ's sakes,
smaller
you
markets.
live in Miami and you're a Miami Marlins fan. It's besides
They're,
Jazz
they're,
Chisholm.
yeah, but they're at least still kind of competing for that third wild card.
Okay,
You know?
all right. So then let me pick a different team. Like all right, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
For Christ's sakes, if Pittsburgh didn't have the Steelers, that'd be one sad motherfucking place to go.
Yep.
So it's like I don't know. That's what screams at me because you have the like you're a Cincinnati fan or you're a Kansas City Royal fan. 27-47. It's kaputs. The season is done.
I agree. Like this is the point where it's like at this point I'm gonna trade all of the top guys in my lineup.
Hmm.
I'm gonna trade Benintendi. I'm trading this guy, whoever I can get the most in return for, and I'm just gonna call up more AAA players, and I'm gonna bring up all these young guys, and I'm gonna see what we have.
Yeah, and guess what? It costs you way less too.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like if I was a fan of the Royals or if I'm a fan of Cincinnati, and they did something like that, honestly, I'd pay to go watch that because, well, I want to go. I want to go see what the future of this team looks like, or this organization potentially.
Yeah.
They're probably going to put up more of an effort. I
Then the
mean,
guys are getting paid out of their
I'm not
ass.
saying that they're not putting up an effort, but I mean, it's like you guys suck. Like,
Yeah, there's no way around it, and that's what I mean. Baseball's playing catch up, so they have to fix this. They have to fix this. Either expand your playoffs, make a play in, do whatever you got to do, because it's not exciting. It isn't. I bet
no.
you in another month, all we're gonna be talking about is the top three teams for each division, because that's all that's gonna be relevant in each division.
Like if you look at the AAA team for the for the Athletics, they're in first in the Pacific Coast League West. They're 13-11. They're essentially right now more competitive. You know,
It's sad, but moving on outside
yeah.
of that, I still think the Mets are fine. The Yankees are gonna coast to where they're gonna coast to. Um, it's gonna be exciting to see. The most exciting division in baseball right now is the AL East. Toronto, Tampa, Boston, Yankees.
I don't feel comfortable saying that, and it's not even because the Yankees are in that division, but it's like, granted, the other teams behind them are essentially competitive, and they're all at least 6 or 7 games over 500. But no, not one of those teams are going to catch the Yankees, unless the Yankees get hit with a rash of injuries.
No, but I'm not saying to catch them. What I'm saying is 2 to 3 teams are coming out of wild card out of that division.
Should.
Like, it's gonna be hard for Cleveland, the Rangers, and the Mariners to really, like you said, the Mariners they gotta catch fire to compete for that wild card between the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and the Rays.
Yeah.
So essentially, that's the most competitive division in baseball right now. Because you're gonna have 3 teams out of that one division going to the playoffs.
I mean, you could say also the NL West. I mean, you got the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. That could compete with it. Yeah. All right. All right. So let's move on to the hate it or love it. I
So,
love you.
so we're the AAA team for the A's. Their capacity is for 10,000, but there's been times where they've had record attendance of 12,000 fans. They're selling out more than the fucking Athletics are. Get your shit together, Oakland.
Look, if I'm Oakland, yes, I'd be pissed. But you know what they did? They fucking had a Baker Mayfield garage sale this fucking off season.
Well,
All right, so I'll go first with the hate it or love it. Hate it or love it, Danny. Rob Gronkowski comes out of retirement this season to help Tom
again,
Brady. Yeah, again to help Tom Brady go to the Super Bowl.
I hate it.
I don't know why I asked. I had to though.
Just fucking stay retired. Like, I don't want to play anymore. I want to play. I want to play. Like, come on, man. Like, take your old, retarded-looking, super talented ass and go fucking retire. Get out of here already.
Typods.
It's ridiculous.
He's one of the greatest tight ends ever.
Yeah, but like, come on, man. Like, if you're gonna retire and then a month later, like, I want to play again. Like, bro, like,
You know whose fault that is? It's Brett fucking Favre's fault. Yeah, I'm done. You know what? I think I can still do it.
I'll go play for the Jets. I'm done.
I'm done.
A
Minnesota's
month
like,
and a half before the season, I'm gonna come play again.
yeah.
And puts up one of his best years ever, and then.
Well, like I think what I heard on ESPN, if I believe, or ESPN Radio, they were talking about what's the big thing for Gronk is because even when he came out of college, he had back issues, right? So he knew his time in the league wasn't gonna be ridiculously long, right? So he got more out of it than he expected, right? With all the dings and the back problems still, right?
Yeah.
He retires because Tom left, right? Then Tom asked him, "Yo, why don't you come back?" So, and it's different. Belichick, you're not missing OTAs, you're not missing the training, you're not missing those practices. Bill Belichick don't care. I don't give Bill. I don't give a fuck how talented you are. You don't make practice, you don't play in the game.
No, I get that. It's
So
just.
I think he's retiring. But I think come around week 6, if Brady's like, you want to come help me out? And he's like, all right, yeah, I mean, I feel a little fresh.
He's fucking Tom Brady. He don't need any fucking help. He's his own help. He's got a weapon here and a weapon here with the arm. You don't need help, my guy. You're being selfish.
They like, what do you mean you need help, man? Like Jimmy Butler said about Tom Thibodeau. You trying to bring the band back together, motherfuckers? Julian Edelman's there. Fucking Gronk's gonna be there. Fucking where's LeGarrette Blount? Fucking call him up.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, and even in general, it's like we know the lifespan on a tight end is usually not that long either anyway. Not everybody's going to play. Not everybody is Tony Gonzalez. Not everybody is Antonio Gates. They don't.
Or Jason Witten or
They don't play
Shannon
15,
Sharp.
16 years. Yeah. I mean, not anymore. At least they're not doing it. And you got to figure they were doing that back then when they were getting hit harder and it was more physical.
Yeah, they were blocking more then. You were more like those tight ends were more involved in those run blocking schemes and pass blocking and shit like that.
Yeah.
So the game has changed more towards them now, where they're more receiver.
More athletic,
but they're still big guys.
Yeah.
All right, Danny, you're up.
All right, hate it or love it. Roger Goodell is the worst thing to happen to the NFL.
I love it. He is.
Me too.
He changed the entire game, and not for the better. Look, I'm all for safety and protocols and trying to, especially from his end on a business end where it's like, look, we're getting slammed with fucking CT fucking, lawsuits here and there from brain scans and everything. We got to make it safer. I get that.
Yeah.
But I go to swat the ball and I smack you in the top of the helmet and I'm getting a fucking 15-yard flag for that? Are you fucking kidding me? I think, what was his name? Mitchell, years ago for the Steelers? Like he said, at this fucking point, let's just take the pads off and give me a flag to grab. Because we're not playing football no more.
No, I agree.
And it still bothers the hell out of me how, all right, We take the 10-yard space, we bring it to 5 now. So anything outside of 5, you're getting called for a PI or a holding. You want to see
Yeah.
less of that? Move it back again, where I could fucking touch this guy for 10 yards.
Yeah.
Because of that, nobody even fucking presses anymore. You barely
Nope,
see press anymore. Yeah, you see it, but you don't see it like the magnitude, 20 years ago.
Right. No, I agree.
The roughing the passer, okay, I agree with that to an extent. You know what I mean? They're the biggest stars. You don't want them getting hurt. I get it. But we're talking about bang bang plays here.
Like
We're talking about I'm running full speed.
you're
I'm
talking about players
280.
getting hurt.
Okay.
Like you were saying last week, talking about players getting hurt. I'm a 300-pound lineman, and I'm coming at you full force. If I stop or make make a movement to avoid hitting you or to hurt you, I can hurt myself, and now I'm fucked.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So
You get
it's
it.
like it's more predicated on just protecting the quarterback.
Than it is the
Everybody
players.
else fuck themselves.
Yeah. Than it is the players. You can't. For God's sakes, you're the lineman that you're trying to get through. You could shred his hold, right? He could push you down. As you're falling down, you grab the quarterback's ankles. Oh, it's a flag. What are we doing here, man?
Yeah.
Look, I understand you wanted to stop head injuries. It's football. It's a contact sport. You're going to get hurt. You're going to have bumps and bruises and broken bones.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I can't wait until he fucking goes. When he's gone, I'm throwing a party.
I mean, I'm not saying he'll be there forever, obviously, but I mean, it's 2022. He's already been here for 15 years, 2006,
Well,
right around there.
If he keeps lying on the stand of what's going on right now with Washington and the Supreme Court, he'll be out on his ass sooner than enough.
Even with that, I don't think that's the case. Football is, as far as all the sports, even though baseball is America's pastime, football brings in the most revenue compared to every sport. I mean, football is church on Sunday for people. I can't see them moving on from him anytime soon. He's like that choir boy.
Yeah, but if he gets himself in more trouble with this, not saying they'll remove him. He may just, all right, I don't want to get fired, so I'm just step down.
Right.
All right. Hate it or love it. The Knicks make the playoffs this year.
I love it.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Because when they're competitive and when they're good, I like watching the Knicks. So, and for the sake of New York and just in general, yeah, why not?
Wow, Stephen A. Smith would give you a fucking hug right now. Did you see him draft night, bro?
No, I didn't. I caught glimpses of like how he reacted to a draft pick or something, but I didn't see the whole.
I've never seen an analyst literally fight tears off like that. That man wanted to cry. Like sitting there like dude, Spike Lee had to come up to him and be like, dude, it's all right, man. It's all right. And he's like, no, it's not all right. We suck again.
Yeah. But no, I think it would be cool for New York. I mean, to have the two New York basketball teams competing for playoffs. I mean, the two New York teams in baseball are at the top of their division, and well, we're just waiting for the Jets and Giants to get their shit together, and maybe at some point it'll be like this for them.
Yeah. Well, I think I love it if they get Brunson and that possibility of trading the Spurs to get the Dejounte Murray. You have Barrett, Murray, Brunson, Julius Randle. If he could fucking
stay
healthy, and give you at least what he was 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I can see them making the playoffs.
At least through the
play-in. Yeah, the play-in.
Right.
All right.
I like that one. All right, so this one's going to be hitting home for you a little bit more because you're a Texas Longhorn fan, but hate it or love it, Archie Manning or Arch Manning, whatever, because he's got the same name as his father or whatever.
Yeah.
Archie Manning is the next great Manning.
Fuck. Damn, man. I thought you were going in a different direction with that. I thought you were gonna be like, Texas Longhorns signed Arch Manning. You hate it or love it. It's like, I fucking love it. We're about to win again, baby. And you're
Well,
like,
I mean, I already know how you feel about that, but as far as the pedigree from the players in that family, is he the next great Manning? Is that something you hate it or love it? Is that something that you could?
I hate it because I just have way too much respect for Peyton.
Okay,
Um, I,
so this just
he is a
in.
Manning. They all played ball, but his father was said to be the better out of Eli and Peyton, but he just never
Yeah,
wanted to play.
right.
So if he's the father of him, it could be a possibility that he could, but
I mean, it's in their bloodline. The father, the two brothers, now the third brother.
it's actually the three brothers and now the third
That's what I'm
brother,
saying. So
the
now the
third
third
brother's
brother is
son.
finally emerging. So,
No, no, the third brother. This is the third brother's son.
oh, okay,
Yeah. I think the third brother was named after their father, Archie. So he was a junior. So he named his son Archie
okay.
as well. So it's their son. Fuck. Yeah, I hate it. I just have too much respect for Peyton right now, and I haven't seen, I haven't even seen you play college ball yet. I can't throw that out there.
Right.
You know, that's a good one. I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. That's gonna be racking my brain for hours now. Later on after the show, and be like, "Where's Cody, baby?" All right, hit it or love it, Danny. Shohei Ohtani wins a Cy Young Award this year.
Um, I love it because I would love to see it happen again, or in general. But it's I just don't see it happening. I mean, Justin Verlander is having an amazing year. You know, I I don't know who else is in the conversation, but he's not having a bad year.
Okay year so
Excuse me.
far.
So he would really have to have a a superior dominating second half in order for that to happen. But I'm not saying it can't. I mean, this
Just
is fucking,
unlikely at this
yeah,
moment. I
it is.
just wanted to see how you felt. I don't think it's gonna come this year. I think it's gonna come when when Verlander and a couple of these other guys they walk away.
Maybe not walk away, but you got to figure. Like I was listening to on the fan today, or not the fan, but I was listening to the Met game before, and they were talking about Verlander and the level that he's playing up to now. Even if that drops a little bit, could he? They were talking about, is he going to be able to hit that 300 wins? So even in the next year or two, if he's not at the top of his game, but he's still out there, winning 12 to 15 games, Otani can definitely come in and win a Cy Young for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see. I mean, I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
your turn. You right.
All right. Hate it or love it. Celebrity boxing. Now this is in reference to the
Adrian
Le'Veon
Peterson and Le'Veon Bell.
Peterson and Le'Veon Bell, but I also saved the article so I could bring up the other references. But fucking all these other fucking stupid guy like Frank Gore fighting Darren Williams and fucking um just these two YouTubers that are supposed to do an exhibition fight. Like what the fuck? Like what is this shit? Like doesn't football bring in enough revenue? Doesn't basketball bring doesn't MMA itself bring in enough revenue? Like what's the point of doing this? Like
Well, it's because we don't have Celebrity Deathmatch anymore. If we
if
had
that
this show Celebrity Deathmatch, we wouldn't want to see all this shit because we see it every week.
but at least that was fun. That was worth watching.
That's what I'm saying. That's gone. Now people are like, oh, I want to see people kick the shit out of each other. Well, what about boxing? No, I'm talking about two people that have no fucking clue what they're doing. Well, then just go to fucking Jersey City and walk around for an hour. You'll fucking find that.
Or wherever you're from, walk around your nearest town or city. I mean, depending on where you're living, maybe you live in an area where it's not as violent or where the crime is not so high, but go to your nearest city and walk around in a bad neighborhood.
Look,
You'll get that.
I hate it.
Me
And the
too.
reason
I
why
think
I
it's
hate it is
retarded.
because we're like there's no do Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson hate each other?
No,
No.
not as far as I'm concerned.
You know what I mean? They're not professionals at boxing. So it's like, all right, who gives a shit? Now if you said Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly are gonna box, well fucking shit fire. I'll pay for that pay-per-view. I want to see them kick
Or
the shit
50
out of
Cent,
each other.
Ja Rule.
Yeah, something like that. Something that has history to it.
Right.
Two celebrities that don't like each other that have history. All right, then I'm for it because there's bad blood there. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree 100%.
Look, I'm even skeptical on fucking on older boxers coming out of retirement to box. You know,
Like
Mike
that Mike
Tyson
Tyson.
and Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah. Did that even happen, by the way?
Yeah, it did, and it sucked.
All right.
It was nice to see Mike out there, just fucking, bang, bang. It was nice to see him out there doing it, but it's like, all right, let's relax. You know what I mean? But at least they're boxers. So you can't say they don't belong out there. They're professionals. But
Yeah.
fucking Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell, like, who the no, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Look, the YouTuber Jake Paul and Logan Paul, right? The two brothers. At least I'll give them this. It's not like they just did it once, got paid, and ran away. You know what I mean? They've actually stuck with it and are continuing to get better at boxing, right? And because of their fame, they're getting the fights, these money fights. So I'm not hating on them for that. Hey, you guys built that yourselves. And
You're capitalizing on an opportunity to make money. Do your own thing.
Do your own thing.
It's a stupid thing, though.
Yes, I think it's stupid, but at least for them, they have over everybody else is like, yeah, I didn't just do this a couple times for the payday. No, I wanna actually do this. Like I wanna be a professional boxer. So
Yeah.
I give them their props for that. All right, you guys want to do it, then all the more power to you for actually fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Shit, one of them got to fight Floyd fucking Mayweather. You know what I mean?
Which, yeah.
All right, hate it or love it, Danny. The Padres win the World Series this year. I got a fucking funny feeling. That's why I wrote it down. I have a fucking feeling. I have a feeling this year. I don't like it. I don't want them to win the World Series.
I love it because
Tatis.
not even just that. Well, if he plays, if he's healthy, but I've got nothing against the Padres. We know that the Astros have come out as cheaters. The Yankees have won more than enough. There's other teams that have won significantly, so for a team like the Padres to win a World Series and make it there again for the first time since I think it was 97 or 98. But I'd have no problem with it. I love it.
Actually, thinking about it right now, I don't have a problem with it just for the simple fact that the Chargers moved to LA. If the Chargers were still in San Diego, then I might, fuck them. Because then I'd rather see the San Diego Chargers win the Super Bowl first, but they went to LA.
Right.
Which was fucked up, I might add.
Well, it is what it is. Can't change that. But, like I said, I definitely love it. I think that would be awesome. All right. This is what I wanted to stem into from last week. And it kind of trickles into the fifth hate or love it that I have, but it's like a two-part. Hate it or love it. The NFL needs to step in when a player doesn't want to play with his current team. Instead of opting out for retiring, Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, Robbie Anderson. I get it. You have a contract that you signed with a team. So that team essentially owns the rights for you when it comes to playing on the field. But you do not fucking own me. If I do not want to play here anymore, for whatever the reason, whether it's the direction of the organization or let's just say I have a child. Now my child is sick. I want to go move to a city where the doctors are better or they have a better house. Whatever the issue is, you don't fucking own me. If I want to leave, there should be ways that I can leave, whether it be buyouts, opt outs, the NFL stepping in and mediating that. There needs to be more of that because, like we talked about last week, if Barry Sanders had played the final 3 years or so of his career, depending on where he goes, he wins a championship. If Calvin had went somewhere else, who knows? Maybe he wins a championship. I'm not saying Robbie Anderson's like that, but he shouldn't be fucking held in shackles. And no, you're not going nowhere.
Oh,
No,
Robbie Anderson because he wants to get traded if they get Baker Mayfield, like we talked about last week.
and that's fine. Like, okay, I don't want to play with this guy. Granted, it in a way seems kind of petty, but what the fuck does it matter?
Okay, but then what?
This guy play for you guys anymore.
But from an organizational standpoint, though, it's like, all right, so then why should I have to go through the trouble to fucking trade you?
So
Now
then
I got to go through the trouble to find a suitor for you. Then do I get match value? Why do I have to go to the headache because you're a prima donna?
Why is it a prima donna?
Because you don't like him? Are you fucking kidding me? You know how many people at McDonald's work together with each other that don't like each other? They get paid $12 an hour? But them motherfuckers do it every day. We talking about millions of dollars here.
Because people that, I'm not saying people don't have options, but people that are in positions like that don't have the luxury or options like these guys do that already have millions of dollars from rookie contracts.
Okay.
And from,
you want to
signing a 5-year deal, you made $22 million over the course of your first 2 years, 3 years.
All right, fine. You want to do that? You want to make decisions? Then quit. Go to school, get your fucking business degree, and then manage a team, and then you can cut who you say you want to cut and get who you want to get and not get who you don't want to get. Look, I get it as in terms of like Calvin or Barry or other situations where the organization is literally being a dick like that, right?
And that's what I'm saying. There needs to like there's got to be a guideline. There's got to be
like you said, the NFL should mediate that situation.
Exactly.
All right, look, enough. Like basically playing the parent between the two kids. The organization being the older kid and the player being the younger kid. The younger
like in
brother.
baseball, when players go to arbitration because they're trying to, and they need that third-party mediator to figure out how much the player should be getting.
Yeah.
There needs to be other steps that can be taken so players don't have to run the risk of, I'm stuck.
Well,
I could retire, but I mean, then I won't play. Man, like.
But here's the thing. So even if like you give the example, like you said you wanted, all right, everybody should sign 3-year deals. That's it. That's the max deal you can sign is a 3-year deal, because you can opt out at any year. So we'll give you the 30 for 3, right? I give you 10 a year. So after the first year, you can be like, nah, don't like it here, and go somewhere else. Right?
That's fine. We paid you 10 for the 1 year, but now that 20 comes back into our pocket.
All right. But see, now that players aren't going to like that.
Why not?
Because it's not giving them a chance to cash out.
Well, what do you mean cashing out? What, on the rest of that contract that you signed?
Yeah,
you don't deserve that money. If you want to leave, you don't deserve the rest of that money because you're going to go somewhere else and sign a new deal.
Yeah, but they want the Patrick Mahomes deal. They want the fucking
stay and perform to that level, or go somewhere else and perform to that level.
But you're just contradicting yourself and saying like, all right, so say I like basically with the Deshaun Watson thing where he was like before the allegations and everything came out, where he was like, I don't want to be here. Trade me. And they were like, no, you can take a seat. Right? You're like, all right, well that shouldn't be right. He should be allowed to leave. Well, you're under contract. I could try to trade you. You know what I mean? So, yes, there should be some arbitration. I 100% agree.
Then you run the risk of the guy staying. Now he doesn't want to play for the team. Now you run the risk of, all right, well, I don't want to be here. I mean, I'm already getting paid X amount from this contract. Well, I guess I'll just kind of underperform then, and I just won't play at like I should.
Well, and you're only hurting yourself in that.
Well, then that's why there needs to be something. I get what you're saying, but there's got to be something that helps certain players with certain situations. Like Deshaun Watson, obviously, probably one of his reasons was he doesn't like the direction of the organization, and that's fair. You know, you sign a 5 or 6 year deal. Initially, you like the projection that the organization and everything is going. 2 or 3 years later, now there's a new head coach, or there's been 3 head coaches already. Now the team is being sold, and like,
But see, wouldn't that be on your fault because you didn't negotiate that to have an opt out after 4 years or
I
the
mean,
third year?
essentially, you could say that, yeah, because
Because it's on both parties then. Look, if we're gonna be signing 6 years deals, like six plus year deals, right? You know, threes to six to nines, or in between, right? After
right,
every third year, I give you an opt out. If you do not opt out after that third year, you're staying here for another 3 years.
and that would be fine.
That'd be fair, right?
I have no problem with that. But I just thinking about like the Barry Sanders and Calvin thing, and that's where like the blunt of this really comes from. It's like, yo,
Yeah,
I
but
get it.
if
Like,
but like if we're gonna like if yes, I understand it. Like Detroit should have been, they should have been better to like just all right trade him. It's Calvin Johnson or Barry Sanders. They
yeah,
have trade value.
like I said last week, they had no problem trading Stafford. Stafford gets that special treatment. Why not
Calvin and
Barry?
Barry don't.
Why not Calvin? They're both way better ball players than Matt is.
Well, Matt plays the most important position.
Yeah, but still,
Calvin wouldn't have broke that record without Matt.
he could have been on a different team with a
With a better
if he
quarterback.
was with somebody else, he still could have had the option to do it.
Yeah, this is true.
Dep-
This is
You
true.
know,
But those are special. Those are like once in a blue years you have like that.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, they gave Matt his papers, but I'm not to blame Detroit in this way because what they got in return for Matt was pretty fucking good. They got Golf to sub in for the 2 years, and they got their picks, and they got another pick this year. They had two picks, so they did good.
yeah. And then
Now
they picked up another one when they made the trade with Minnesota.
I don't see anybody even in the '80s or the '90s trading for Barry or Cal and giving up multiple ones.
I'm not saying it would have to be multiple ones, but I mean at least for either or.
But the way the organization might see it is they may see it like this. Look, you have more value to me here than me getting rid of you.
I don't
I
care about your fucking value. What about what I want as a person, as a player? You know what? How about this?
well, you
I'll
should have
retire.
signed. You should have made a deal. You should have made. You
Or you know
signed
what?
the papers. You lay in it.
This just popped in my head. How about this? Okay, you know what? I'll retire. I'll take a year off or whatever. I'll stay in shape.
You're still under contract.
And what you can't go you can't like there's no legal way that they can work that out.
There is. You gotta wait. Like all right. So say you did 3 years, right? And you have the next 3 years, right? And you're like, oh, all right, fine, I'll retire. You got to be retired for 3 years, my guy. Because
That's
if you come
possible.
back and play, the contract is still active because it's for those years.
How can it be active if I'm retired now? Doesn't that money come off the books? Doesn't it become null and void?
I think it's dead money somehow. I'm not sure.
That's fucking robbery, bro. Like it really is. Like it's a fucked up system. If you ask me.
I mean, in all honesty, there's only one fucking organization that's doing shit like this. So I mean,
Yeah.
we got to give the other 31 teams a little bit of a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is just at you, Detroit.
Detroit. Just you. we'll dive a little deeper into that a little later. All right, so we're gonna jump into the NBA.
I thought did you last hate it or love it?
Oh no, I did not. Wow, fuck me, skipping myself. Hate it or love it, Danny. Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year.
I love it. I got no problem with it. The kid's a beast. I mean,
He wants to break the sack record.
If he does, great. Do I really think he's gonna do it?
No, I think he'll come close. I think he'll put up like a 20 sack season.
Yeah,
What's the record? 23?
22 and a half, I think. Why am I looking on my phone when I got a fucking laptop right in front of me? Um, yeah, I love it. I don't have a problem with it.
222.
What is it? 22?
22.
All right. So, all right, my last
Oh
hit
no, it just
11,
left him just shy of the straight hands.
22 and a half, right?
Yeah, 22 and a half. TJ Watt tied it with 22 and a half in 2021.
Mm. So you kind of brought it up a little bit, but this is the last hater to love it. Hater to love it. Sport contracts should be 3 years. This way you don't have to worry about opt-outs. What are you going to opt out after a year and a half? What are you just going to play half the year and then no, I'm leaving? No. After rookie contracts, after you get drafted, every contract after that is a max 3 years. Because in a sense, if a team has a 2 or 3 year window to win and they bring you in, 3 years, that's it. If you want to re-sign, another 3 year deal. If you want to go somewhere else, it's safer for players and it's safer for teams.
I hate it.
Granted, you can still
I hate it.
you could still backload a 3 year deal, but
I hate it. The reason why I hate it is
I don't like it.
I know. Well, we know you like it. The reason why I just hate it is so you get the 2 or 3 year rookie deal, right? The guy's a star. Well, we'll just use Lamar Jackson, right, as an example. I want to keep Lamar for the next 7. I don't want to have the chance for him to, go. This is why I hate it, because then we're gonna have super teams and a bunch of team hoppers, because then every team can afford to sign everybody if it's only 3 years deals and they can
I mean,
structure it.
necessarily, what's wrong with that? It'll make other teams competitive as well.
No, we're just at that point everybody's just gonna go to New England, Dallas. They're gonna go to the juggernauts, and then your Jacksonville's and your low market teams, right? In the NFL, even though the NFL is just so gigantic of a market,
Right.
that's gonna hurt them.
All right. So then 5 year deals opt out after 3.
Okay, I could jump on board with that. No, actually 6. 6 year deals are the max you can sign. You can sign anywhere between 1 to 6. So you could say no, I don't want the 6. I'll take a 3, or I'll take a 4 with a 3 year opt out. Right?
Or I'll take a 4 year deal with a 2 year opt out. Because if you're doing 6 with a 3 year opt out, you got to do 4 with a 2.
Okay.
Keep it even.
All right. That makes sense. I would be on board for that. The 3 is I don't want to see that. As much as I'd love to watch the Cowboys win another Super Bowl, but I wouldn't like to see that. Because then it's everybody's it becomes the LeBron shit, the buddy. Hey, why you come over here? Let's play. No, let's not kill the sport even more. Because at that point I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Deacon Jones. You ever seen clips of him? He'd be like, I don't understand why motherfuckers are shaking hands after games. Fuck you, I lost. His shit.
Yeah.
I love his rule. The only player allowed to run out of bounds is the quarterback.
I agree. Unless you're trying to stop the clock at the end of a game.
Stopping the clock is one thing, but we're talking about first quarter here. Put your shoulder down, you fucking Mary.
Put your shoulder down and square up and get ready for contact.
I
agree.
All right. So now we'll move on to the NBA.
So before we hit the draft, the Hawks made a trade. They traded Gallinari.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the latest one that I just seen pop up on my phone. They traded him for a couple of draft picks to, I think, the Spurs.
Oh, Spurs trade All-Star point guard DeJounte Murray to the Hawks.
See, okay, yeah, there was more to that deal.
Mm-hmm. That's a big pickup for the Hawks. That's a good to match him with Trae Young and the team they got. All right, okay. I see you, Atlanta. James Harden declines his option with Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Uh,
Bradley Beal declined his option as well.
Bradley Beal's gonna get paid. James is not getting paid. The teams
He,
gonna hit.
I'm
Teams are
not
gonna
saying he
hit him with
shouldn't.
the. You know, see, like we talked before about it off air. He's they basically told him, look, we gonna need you to just opt out so we can resign you. Basically, restructure the deal.
Right. The Nuggets acquired Contavious Caldwell Pope in a trade with the Wizards.
And Ish Smith. All right. So I
What?
mean, Washington has acquired Will Barton and Monte Morris from Denver. For Montavious and Montavious Caldwell Pope and Ish Smith. So it was a
Yeah.
little move. Kyrie he opted in.
I mean, I can still see him getting moved. I mean, just
I
because
don't
he
think so.
opts to just.
He's gonna play this season. I don't know why everybody's flipping out. Look, he didn't play last season that much because of the vaccine, which he has a right not to take the vaccine.
Exactly.
Can we just get that out there right now? It's his right to do that. Yes, it's his job, right? This is not his life. Basketball's not his
You
life.
want to be fair and you want to be equal. His body, his choice, right?
Yeah, 100%.
We know about that, right?
Yeah.
Equality, right?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, let's back that up there. This is
I'm
rich
just
white
saying.
men we're talking about. The only thing equal to them is another dollar in their hand. So, I mean, it makes sense why they'd be weary, but it makes more sense for them to just keep him. He's an incredible player on the court. So if they can get 62 games out of him, like we said weeks ago, then I feel like you paid well. Like the
That it's worth
it's worth
essentially the
what you paid
37
for
million.
him. Yes, it's worth it then because you know you're going to go to the playoffs and you know you have a chance to go all the way.
You should.
You should. I mean,
High probability.
high probability with Durant and yourself and Irving. So
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody's pressing the panic button. And to be honest, you weren't getting jack shit for him anywhere because nobody was going to pay that for him.
No.
But he's gonna play. Look, New York's already coming around. They're already no mask and shit like that. He'll be fucking fine. Brooklyn should calm down, grab your tits, and just woosah. It's gonna be alright. All right. So that's pretty much what's going on in the NBA as in far as that. I don't know. I think what the consensus of the talk is right now, the rumors that are going around, is that Bradley Beal is going to go to Boston.
Okay.
So now his deal is supposed to be like $100 million for I don't know how many years. Supposedly that's what they're projecting.
Fine.
Now, do they have enough cap to get him in there, or are they going to have to get rid of Smart or somebody?
Get rid of Tatum.
he just slid that right in there. Get rid of Tatum.
God, there is no sliding in there. Like,
Well, they wouldn't do that. The reason why they just wouldn't do that is because Bradley Beal and Tatum, they grew up together. Bradley Beal used to babysit Tatum. They lived in the same town and everything, the whole nine, and they've been playing ball together for a large part of their life, so they already mesh well. So it's like
Still not gonna make Tatum better.
no, but it's all right. But here's what it'll do. We'll still call him out and be like, yeah, Mr. Superstar, 13 points. But they'll win those games because Bradley's going to have the 20 with Jalen having another 20.
With Smart and
You know, and Williams and Robert Williams and Horford and Grant, you know, they're a whole bunch. But that instantly makes them better. To be honest with you, if they get Bradley Beal, I think they're going to the fucking championship again.
I don't see them going back.
Yeah, I do. They get Bradley Beal, I think they're going back. Telling you they're going back. You can fucking stamp it today. Everybody watching. You can stamp it. I done said it. Now I hope he goes to the fucking Miami Heat.
Bradley and Jimmy.
Give Jimmy a little help now. You get Hero, you let go of Duncan Robinson. I don't know why you paid him in the fucking first place.
Then you go to Connor's house for some pancakes real quick.
We go to Connor's house for some pancakes. Sorry, bro. Detective, bro.
Sorry, Tatum, but I want to win.
That yeah.
Still be friends, though.
Still be friends, though. You're an asshole.
Hey. Call it how I see it, and I do not see a superstar in him.
He's a star. He's not a superstar.
Barely.
Well, Carmelo's still out there. Trevor Ariza. Oh, DeAndre Ayton is still on the block. Marvin Bagley, Kent Bazemore, Nicholas Batum. Batum is a good role player.
Honestly, I don't know. I can't even see where Ayton's gonna end up. Honestly, like it may be unrealistic, but what if he ends up in Dallas? You know, Dallas. You know, they're not bringing back Brunson. Why not bring in Ayton? You know, bringing Ayton.
You could do that, but you could be cheap and sign DeMarcus Cousins.
I'd rather have Ayton. Younger, healthier, more athletic.
I said cheap.
I get it. You're gonna get what you pay for.
Yeah. This is true.
The Lakers tried that, and he fucking tore his ACL before the fucking season even started.
Dude, he's had a bad bill of health. As soon as he left Sacramento, his body was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, so on a cheap deal, you're gonna get exactly what you pay for. You know.
I do like Ayton going into the Mavs. I do like Ayton going to the Mavs. I just. I do like it, but I think I don't know. I see him going somewhere else. I just have a feeling he's going somewhere else.
I can't. But I'm trying to envision him in a different uniform and like where he could go, and I'm like, I don't know, honestly. Like, I don't. I've got no problem if he stays with Phoenix.
I do. Like we said weeks ago in the playoffs, and then the week after they got bounced. So, out of everybody that played alongside of me, I'm the motherfucker y'all want to get rid of? Okay. Duly noted.
When it comes to that, I don't even think it's a personal thing. I think it's honestly probably it's a money thing. I mean, what's his max contract going to look like?
If I'm DeAndre Ayton, I take that personal. Because I read an article that said the Suns think they can get just as much production from another person as they did from him in the playoffs.
Who's that other person?
Thank you. Or other people, whatever.
No, I said it like that because I thought that they had somebody else in mind already.
No, there was nobody. They were just like, yeah, whoever they sign, they believe they can put up the production of Ayton.
Stupid.
Yeah. So if I'm Ayton, I'm not coming back. You can go fuck yourself. I'll go somewhere else, and then when I come to this house again, I'm gonna piss on the floor.
I'm gonna shove the ball down your fucking throat.
Yep, and then we're gonna see who can put up production. I would be screaming at fucking screaming all game. What production? Who? Him? Who the fuck is he?
Look all over that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's pretty much it for the NBA.
I mean, the draft did happen the other day, but I mean, I don't even know how to dive into it.
Neither do I, and
I don't even know who, honestly, any of these guys are. I mean, I've heard of the Paolo Banchero.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be a bust, though. You heard it here first. I think he's gonna be a bust.
And I bet you there's someone in that bottom half of that draft that's gonna turn out to be better than guys in that top 10.
Yep. That's usually the way it works. I mean, I don't know. Maybe next year we'll be more on it. We'll get into it more. I I don't know. I just it's not like the NFL. These guys, the NFL has rounds 1 through 5, rounds 1 through 4, essentially that the players play.
Yeah.
There is no like, oh well, the NBA is almost like a do or die. I draft you if you don't give me what I want in 3 years, you're out on your ass. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Pretty. Yeah.
And some of these
Mm.
guys they don't pan out, so then they go to the G League, and then it takes longer. Or that's why
Then
I don't put
they
that
go
much
to
stock into it.
China, play in China for a year or two, come back.
Yeah, like look at R.J. Barrett. You know what I mean, he's developed nicely now. I mean, out of college, he was like, oh, this kid's gonna be the next fucking thing, right? So
Well,
he's
how long did it take him to develop?
it's about 3 years, 4 years. You know what I mean? So it takes time. So it's not like I said, it's not like football where you're gonna see these guys roll right off. They're in it.
And
You know what
make
I
an
mean?
immediate impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like I think that kid's gonna be a bust though. I think
Paolo Banchero. Yeah.
yeah, I think he's gonna be a bust. From what I seen in that fucking what school was he? North Carolina or Duke?
Duke.
Oh, Duke. Yeah, I don't know. Something about him. Remember that one time we talked about names? How names you could just tell by a person's name
If they're gonna be a
if they're gonna be a
yeah.
star or not. I don't his name doesn't scream, I am here. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah. No. And I'm like I'm looking at the list of guys, and I'm like, you don't sound like a superstar. You don't sound like. And yes, we don't know officially, but like
It's also you're playing college.
Chet Holmgren, like that big ass, lengthy, goofy looking white boy.
And he definitely a bust too. He gonna get fucking bullied like a motherfucker.
Honestly, Keegan Murray. I don't. That sounds like someone that name just kind of has a nice ring to it,
Into
like
it.
him being an all star, you know, or Jalen Williams. It just I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Put it this way. You know, all right. You know when we'll cover the draft? All Star Weekend. All Star Weekend. We'll go back to the draft. We'll look at all the players taken, and then we'll see where they're at.
All right,
That's
that's
fair, right? It's fair enough. We'll
I
see
mean,
if
granted, it's still there within their first year, but it's it'll be a little update to see where everybody's at. Yeah.
yeah. So All Star Weekend, we'll give you guys, because they're probably playing in that rookies versus fucking sophomores game.
Some of them will.
Some of them will. So we'll see. We'll get a look.
All right. Sounds fair.
We'll give it a look. See there a lot. All right, what's next, Danny?
uh,
Is it the Verses?
I think is it the verses or is it the top 5 dead or alive?
I think it's the Verses.
All right.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely the Verses.
this is a good one this week, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a goodie. I think it's one to think about.
Yeah. So this week it's the verses Willie Mays versus Ken Griffey Jr. So DJ took Willie Mays because I wanted the
Yeah.
kid.
There was none. I took Willie Mays. Put it this way, I didn't have a choice in the matter, people, because Danny was like, no, I got Ken. Yeah, I got him. I don't blame him either because I wanted him.
Honestly, because it was like I didn't see Griffey from when his career started, but from like as far back as I can remember, like once Griffey went to Cincinnati, and granted he had a rash of injuries that definitely prevented him from hitting that, reaching that 700 home run plateau. It was just fun watching Griffey. The last couple years of watching Frank Thomas. Like the catching the back end of some of these guys' careers. Like, I would love to tune into Sports Center or to a White Sox game to see Frank Thomas hit. And then when he went to Toronto, anytime I got a chance to watch the Toronto game against the Yankees or something, I tuned in because I wanted to see Frank Thomas.
The big hurt. The big hurt.
Oh, he definitely put a hurting on the ball, that's for sure.
That's a big motherfucker to be playing baseball.
Hell yeah.
It was unfair, too, because that strike zone is fucking wild on him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You essentially like your high fastball is a right down the plate for him. You know what I mean? So his strike zone is fucking weird. Um. All right. You know what? Since he's the kid, let's have it.
All right.
What's this cocksucker got?
And it's funny if you they nicknamed Griffey the Kid, but I mean for Willie Mays they call him the Say Hey Kid. So it's kind of like
Oh, the say hey kid versus the kid.
the same. Um, Hall of Famer, played for 21 years. He had a 284 career average, 2,781 hits, 630 home runs, 1,836 RBIs, 13-time All Star. He's an MVP, 10-time Gold Glove winner, 7-time Silver Slugger, 4-time AL home run leader, 83.8 career WAR, 9,801 at bats, 1,662 runs, 184 stolen bases, a 370 on base percentage, a 538 slugging percentage, and a 907 OPS. And this guy did it all. You know, from fielding, defense. I mean, not really a big base stealer, but I mean, the kid was still fast. I mean, he could, he could run down any fly ball that was in any direction that
Yeah.
he was chasing
How
down.
many Gold Gloves did he have?
10.
10. Hmm. Well, we have a conundrum here.
Why?
Well, Willie's got two MVPs. He's got a Rookie of the Year. He's a 24-time All Star. 12-time Gold Glove, batting title, two-time AS MVP, Major League Player of the Year, 1954 World Series. His WAR was 156.1. He had 10,924 at bats, 3,293 hits, 660 home runs, 301 batting average, 2,068 runs, 1,909 RBIs, 338 stolen bases.
Yeah,
He also
you know,
played 21 years. Let's see the OPS and everything right now. Give me a
I
second
mean,
there, lads.
regardless, there's no doubt about it that Willie's the better player overall.
I would say the better hitter, not even overall. Yeah, he had more steals. He had more hits. He's part of the 3,000 club. Slightly better batting
Right.
average. Um, but I believe Griffey was the better fielder.
Hmm. How many how many
12,
Gold
12
Gloves
Gold
did
Gloves.
fucking Griffey had 10? So
Let's see
I
standard
mean,
fielder.
they played in different eras, but you can absolutely say that Willie Mays definitely paved the way for guys like him. I mean, not not many like him, but I mean, you had him, you had Kenny Lofton, you had Jim Edmonds. You know, there were you know like how Cal did for the shortstop position, kind of like paved the way for the guys to come after him.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, if whoever you take, obviously it's not a knock. I would gladly have either guy on my
All right, all
team.
right. So look up his fielding percentage because Willie's is .981.
All right. All right. Griffey's was. What'd you say it was for?
Give me 1 second.
Because I got right here 983 was his career fielding percentage.
And Mays is .981.
They're basically the same. I mean, granted, he has two more than Griffey, but when you look at the stats, they're it's basically the same player defensively. But you also got to think too. When Willie Mays was around, who were the other center fielders in the league? Who was he really competing against?
This is true. This is true.
Uh, the same thing for Griffey though.
I suppose. So Willie Mays, maybe not the more impactful player than that Griffey was for his time. So Mays for his time was like one of the best to ever do it,
Yeah.
right? So he spawned players that wanted to be like him, just like Griffey, right? So when Griffey comes, I think his impact was felt a little bit more than Mays was. Griffey had like the world on notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
His dad was already a pretty good ball player, and the minute Griffey stepped onto the field, it's like he was already there for
Yeah,
like
he was. Well, look, for his first at bat was a home run, and he followed his dad with a home run.
yeah.
That if that doesn't scream fucking special, that I mean,
No, I agree, but there's other things that you could definitely talk about with Willie as far as him being better. I mean,
I think Willie edges it slightly because of the hits and the average, and the runs and the stolen bases. I think he just edges it because of that. Good fielder, but
yeah.
we got to see Griffey do the shit he did. You know,
No, definitely.
running up a wall just whoop, whoop, and I ain't never seen Willie Mays swing, but I'll tell you one thing: I could watch Ken Griffey swing a bat all day.
Yeah,
That is why probably one of the most prettiest fucking swings I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
It's pure as shit. There is no hitch. There is no hesitation. It's all one fluid motion.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I mean, Willie Mays played in the Negro League. He was definitely one of the more prominent African American players to come out of the Negro League after the color barrier got broken.
Yes.
So there's some cultural um, substance. There's like pedigree, like as far as
He was one of the first people to come in after Jackie
yeah,
and then be really dominant. That's why I said for his era, it was felt crazy. I'm
yeah.
just saying for Griffey's generation, he went worldwide. You know, not taking anything away that Willie did. I'm saying Willie just edges it slightly that he's the better player.
Yeah,
But if we're talking about, and this is the sad thing about stretches of time, you know, if you don't know, you don't know. So Willie Mays may be forgotten in that aspect to the younger generations because so much time has passed that for them, the farthest they may look back is at Ken Griffey and then call it
right.
a day from there.
Like you were saying, like how you said that a large portion of our listeners are within the 30 to 40 range.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking to guys like that, or if you're talking to our grandfathers and stuff like that, you know, they're gonna talk about Willie Mays. They're gonna talk about certain guys like that they've seen coming up
Yeah.
as they were kids. So
I mean, I love it. I would love to put there if we can get footage and actually put it side by side, or to watch some Willie Mays games or clips. Um, but the game was different then. The game
it
was
was.
different when Griffey played. Um, I think Griffey would have probably dominated even way more. Just saying, in Willie's age than Willie playing in his age.
I mean, you can definitely say that for a majority of players playing nowadays, but I just don't know how fair of a comparison or how fair of a statement that is for either player. Like, oh well, what if Willie Mays was playing now? Would he be the kind of player he was? Well, he would still be the defensive player. He still would have stolen a lot of bases. Would he be a 3,000 hits guy? Maybe, maybe
Maybe
not,
not.
because now players are getting walked more because pitchers don't want to face them, and they want other guys in the lineup to beat you, which is fair. So there's just It's.
I guess it was unfair of me to say that. Then
I mean,
I
but I
could.
get what you're saying. Like if like we've said about Shohei and other players, if you put them back then, well, they should mash.
Yeah. All right. So I don't want to offend anybody when we're talking about this. Like I'm saying, I think Willie edges this, but I just feel as if like Ken Griffey, him going global, and what he had done throughout his whole career, even not winning one, which sucks. I think for the kids, or not even kids, for the people that are watching that are in our age range, 10 years less or plus 10 years to 20 years. Yeah, they may have not even seen Willie play at all either.
I
So
mean, they might have seen the very back end. I mean, you figure my father was born in, well, my stepdad, he was born in 62 or 63. So, he's seen the Mets win the 69. He was there when the Mets won the 69 World Series. He was young, and he's seen the back end of Willie's career because the last 2 years or last year of his career, 72 to 73, he played for the Mets.
so my dad was when he got to see him play honestly, well, knowledgeably, would be the last 3 years of his career, the last
And
two or three.
granted, cool, but it's like that Willie is not the Willie from 10 years ago.
Yeah, the Willie from the '60s, late '50s into the
Yeah.
'60s, where he was in his prime, where he was just absolutely killing everything.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, maybe some of you seen the back end, but if you got a grandpa or grandma out there that likes fucking baseball, you axe away, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck was Willie Mays like? That was a bad motherfucker right there.
It's like when I talk to my stepdad, and I talk to older Met fans, like, what was it like watching Tom Seaver? Oh, he was amazing. Oh, I like having conversations like that because it's like you can get like from the way that they're talking about it with their enthusiasm, you can get the feel like,
Like they were there at the game with
yeah,
you.
like, and it was just like,
Well, my mom's first ever fucking Yankee game. David Cohn's perfect game. She sat behind home plate.
what a fucking game to go to for your first
That's the
game, I
game.
tell you.
Right? Yeah. I
Shit.
think she's seen two, if I'm not mistaken. I
David Combs and David Wells.
Yes, I think she's seen both of their perfect games. And I'm like, yo, why don't you ever come with us to like a fucking Cowboy game or something? I mean, we watch fucking something magical happen. You're going to fucking baseball games. Motherfuckers are throwing perfect games.
Maybe if y'all had gone to that Cowboy game, maybe Dez would have made. Maybe they would have called that catch a catch for Dez against Green Bay.
It was a fucking
I
catch.
know, but I'm saying like.
Oh yeah, that'd have been beautiful. I'd have been like, you're coming to every fucking Cowboy game ever. Oh, and just a disclaimer: anybody who watches Tim the Tatman, great streamer, funny guy, he is not allowed to go to Cowboy games anymore.
Who?
Tim the Tatman. This guy's a fucking jinx. Every time he goes to a game, we fucking lose by the fucking tit hair of our fucking teeth.
The Tat Man.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
All right. Well, there you go. Just a little plug. Bing.
Uh,
So, I guess in conclusion, like I said, I edge it slightly to Willie.
Definitely.
I think a little bit that does sway me in the direction is that we got to see Griffey play and feel his time in the sport. So I think that kind of like sways me in a way where I'm like, damn, I want to say that Griffey is the better player, but statistically, it doesn't break down like that.
No.
Griffey still had a great career. He's 100%. He deserves to be in that Hall of Fame. Just
They
as,
they both played 20 plus years.
exactly. So we're talking about longevity like a motherfucker there, and then
Yeah.
longevity at a high level. A high level.
And like I said, if Griffey didn't suffer the rash of injuries that he did when he went and played for the when he went and signed with the Reds, excuse me, he would have he honestly would be the home run leader right now.
For who? The Mariners?
No, in general, like, so Griffey's got 630 home runs.
Uh-huh.
So, and Barry Bonds broke Hank Aaron's 756. If Griffey didn't sustain those injuries that he did in those couple of years for the Reds and he played full seasons, he would have absolutely broken that home run record.
Well, then we'd be talking about Griffey in another light. Then
Absolutely.
in another light, that would probably put Griffey. That would
Would that
arguably
put him over the top?
that would arguably make him arguably the best baseball player ever if he had done that, and it was all natural.
It was. Nothing ever came out about him being on steroids. He wasn't in
No,
the Mitchell reports from what I've seen, so and what I heard. So it's like, yeah, that would have made it that much more sweeter.
yeah. That's why I said there's certain things that like sway it that sway it. Where you're like, damn, fucking Ken, fucking Griffey. And another thing you could say is that beautiful stadium that the Mariners play in. That's the house that Ken Griffey built.
Yeah.
Without Ken Griffey, they do not get that stadium.
No, and without Griffey, they were not the team that they were. I mean, granted, Griffey went to the Reds, I think, in prior to the 2000 season.
Well, that was a move. Like I watched a documentary the other day on him. At that point in his life, he had 3 kids running around. They live in fucking Florida or something like that. So to be in Cincinnati, where he already has a home as well, right? It's closer to home for him.
Yeah.
So that was a move for his family. Which
prior to that, I mean, the Mets were even looking at trying to get him too prior to going into the 2000 season.
Dude, everybody and their mother was going looking for him. All right.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. I mean, I'm not saying it. They would have won, but I mean, how much better would that 2000 World Series between the Mets and Yankees have been if Griffey was a member of the Mets?
And Griffey's a Yankee killer too.
It just would have been nice to see in general.
Yeah.
Well,
in retrospect, there's only one team that Griffey would never go to. Is the New York Yankees. He said it multiple times.
Did he?
Yes. Because when he was growing up, his dad hated the Yankees, and as he's growing up, his dad's like instilling like, you fuck those guys, all right? Never.
Those are the guys you want to beat.
Yes, and he like in multiple interviews, he's like, yeah, I would. He goes, if there was not one last team left but the New York Yankees, I'd retire. I'd retire.
Imagine if Griffey stayed with Seattle and was on that 2001 team when they won 116 games with Ichiro.
Yo, him and Ichiro, that outfield is
Edgar
nasty.
Martinez.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would have been sick to see.
Yep.
That would have been sick to see. All right. So wrapping it up, I have Willie just edging it. How do you feel?
I feel the same way.
But
But if I'm building a dream team, Griffey's definitely on my dream team for sure. Whether starting right fielder or he's coming off the bench. But he's definitely a part of a dream team.
Griffey ain't coming off no bench.
Well, I mean, I'd have to see how the rest of the dream team develops, but it's possible.
That's an insult. How dare you? All right.
It's a great bet to have come off the bench, I tell you that.
Fuck that. Nah, that motherfucker's starting. Hell no. All right, we're going to move into the NFL news. What's going on? What's shaking? All righty. Let's see what's going on in the absolute bullshit league.
Not for long.
All right, well, Watson's potential suspension could be up to a year, but now they're talking about 6 to 8 games. Which, I don't... Look, if it's 6 to 8 games, that's not bad for the Browns. Especially if he can appeal and do the Tom Brady thing, like you said. Where he appeals it, then plays throughout, and then by the time it's settled, by next year, he gets the 6 games, so he at least gets a season in.
Right. But, like we said prior to doing this show, he's not Tom Brady. I don't think he's going to get that kind of treatment. I mean, I was listening to the fan the other day, and the way that they were talking about how MLB came down super hard on Trevor Bauer, it's now in a sense like, all right, well, now the NFL's like, all right, well, they did it. They came down super hard. All right, so then we can come down super hard on a player.
See, honestly, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't know the situation, and we'll never know. That's between Trevor Bauer and that female, that woman,
Right.
whatever you want to call her, whatever her pronouns she goes by. Uh, we'll never know. But if a judge in the court system deems him not guilty, and there's no settlement, not guilty, reviewed the files, case dismissed. How?
Right.
Why am I still getting suspended? I'm not guilty.
Because that's what I'm saying. The league can do whatever it wants. Oh, so the justice system that we all follow, apparently,
Mm-hmm.
finds him,
Not guilty or dismissed or
free to
whatever the
go,
fuck
not
it is.
guilty. So what gives the NFL the right to now
Suspend me
penalize
2
for
years.
something that he was proven like
Excuse me.
like you got like the NFL like this is at the NFL. You guys are not fucking cops. You're not lawyers. You might have a legal team, but you guys are not lawyers. If someone is found innocent after all of this, like leave the man alone. Let him play.
Look, I understand it's a brand, and they gotta protect the brand because then it's the money. I get
If
it.
the guy does something wrong,
Yes, but if look, sometimes there's wrong place, wrong time. I get it. Now, if I don't have a history of wrong place, wrong time, or anything like that, why am I getting in trouble? Now, if this is multiple times here and there where I'm still getting off and the cases are dismissed and that, all right, now I understand sending a message. Look, I got to give you 6 games because you're just not understanding this concept of you can't make us look like shit. Even if you weren't proven guilty or you're not guilty, whatever it is, you're bringing in the wrong attention. That
yeah,
wrong attention loses us money. And if so facto, I lose money, you lose money. Right? But if Trevor Bauer never had a history of this, or this is his first time ever going through this in his entire life, and it comes out that, however it turned out, that the judge or whatever said, it was dismissed, not guilty, excuse me, whatever you call it, why am I getting in trouble still? Why am I getting that suspension?
exactly,
That's bullshit.
100%.
Now,
No, I mean,
In Deshaun Watson's case, I don't want to dive too deep because we don't do that here. Um, he reached a settlement with 20 out of the 24 women. Now, a settlement is different. There was no court case because they took a settlement. So it's basically, all right, here's your bread, shut the fuck up.
right.
So now there's a little, that's where it becomes,
So is that a suspicious thing for to happen? Does
yeah.
that make it like
So that's where it weighs heavy on the NFL, as in like, how do we go about this? What do we really do here?
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's such a fine line. It's like, well, he wasn't guilty, but he wasn't not guilty. You know what I mean?
right?
And a lot of people's mindset would be, well, he paid them, so that means he's guilty. You know, that's not the way our country works in our whatever process of whatever fucking justice system you want to call it. Um, so I don't know. Hopefully enough time has passed so if they give them the 6 to 8 games, people will just let it ride and go on with their lives.
I mean, they'll go on with their lives, but I mean,
Yeah, but like I said, this is a brand. They got to protect the money. So if they have an outrage like they did with the Colin Kaepernick situation,
and that's
there's
what I'm thinking can happen 100%.
exactly. So now it's like you said. All right, well, baseball did this to this guy. What do we do? Do we take it this harsh? There's still people out there that are gonna what is it that are still gonna be sour about it? Oh, he
100%.
should never be allowed to play again.
That's extreme, honestly. That really is. It's just unless you're Henry Ruggs and you're and you murder someone, whether voluntarily or involuntary or whatever you want to call it, because he was driving drunk and he splattered someone on his car. and he goes to jail for the rest of his life, fine.
Yes.
That no problem.
Yeah.
But for a situation like this, I'm not saying it's a situation that I condone because, like you said, we don't really know what exactly happened. But this is not like, killing somebody. I'm not trying to sit here and condone, women
What he did or what he didn't do.
or and whatever happens to women in situations like that. But it's like there's a level of degree like, all
Well,
right, yes, it's fucked up when a woman gets violated like that. But at the same time, it's also fucked up when somebody kills another person.
yes. Well, it's also fucked up if said person is lying about said something that is making you look like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, all right, so I have it here in front of me. After 5 months review of pitcher Trevor Bauer's criminal case, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office announced Tuesday, whatever this is, February, concludes with no charges filed against him. So they deemed that there wasn't, like, he didn't do enough or didn't do anything to deserve to be charged with domestic violence or domestic abuse or
Right.
harassment or anything like that. So if they say no, basically that's like a not guilty. There's nothing to charge him with. He didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, that fine line. Like, all right, Deshaun, he settled. Motherfucker, I didn't settle. The motherfucker police said I didn't do nothing. So why am I getting suspended?
Yeah. And then I think they suspended him indefinitely for 2 years.
Yeah, I think 2 years or maybe one, but I think two.
No, I'm looking at it right. Yeah, it's 2 years. And it's like, yes.
Watch yourself, gentlemen. Watch yourself.
Yeah,
Watch
definitely
yourself.
be careful.
All right, so
It's a crazy world out there.
yes, it is. Who Terry McLaurin, scary Terry, signed what was it, 5-year extension,
Yeah, worth
71 million.
which at the most, if he hits certain guidelines or certain stipulations and whatnot, could be worth up to 70 million.
Yeah, 52 million is guaranteed to him if he's on the roster by March 2023. So
Like you said yesterday, I just don't see that happening.
no, I see them cutting ties or trading him because the contract is not bad. You know, because if you're gonna trade for him or you're trading him and you're picking him up, you're only getting I think the back end of the 4-year deal, but you could still cut him at the option of 3, right?
Right.
So they paid the first part of it. They paid the first part, or not the first part, the first year. So it's
But it's
not.
like, what the fuck are you doing, Washington? You wasted a first round pick on a receiver because, like, for what? If you were ultimately gonna give this guy the money.
Why waste that draft pick? You could have wasted it on another need.
Exactly. But like we've said, this organization is in total disarray. It's Dan Snyder's probably sitting back in his office just laughing up a storm right now.
Or he's pouring milk in somebody else's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take like a 30 to 60-second break real quick. We'll be right back and we'll continue our talks on the NFL and what's going on.
Okay.
It's the one and only D&D. 1, 2, 3 to the 4. Well, still no word on Debo Samuel, people. I still have a feeling they're gonna trade him. All right, now that Dan the Man Party Charlie is back with me.
I got some Nutella on my face.
Oh, you're not telling me nothing. All right, so we're gonna break off into a interesting topic here that me and Danny discussed the other day. When should NFL owners be forced to sell their franchises?
I remember.
And then we started thinking of franchises that possibly do need to be forced to be sold. We touched on it earlier. One of the organizations that's been, I guess you could say, causing problems for legendary players would be Detroit. And they are number one on the list. Well, as of now, I would put them number one. But as of now, the number one franchise that needs to be sold is the Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, whatever you want to call them. They haven't won anything since, what is it? Theismann and Doug, pardon me, Doug Peterson or Doug Patterson?
I don't even think that. I think, because I think that was even before then. Because I believe they won a Super Bowl with I think the first African American quarterback to win a Super Bowl was quarterback in the Redskins. I'm look that up real quick.
Doug Williams.
There you go.
Yeah, Doug Williams. And that was back
What
in...
year was that?
I think it's the 90s.
And it's like Dan Snyder's like treating this as his own little fucking personal playpen. Like, oh, I can do what I want, and now I can touch her if I want. I can do this, and I can say this, and hide this, and do this. Like, how come he's not facing no repercussions?
Well, he was subpoenaed to speak. I don't know what happened with that.
Crazy.
He's got to sell, man. They got to take that from him.
Definitely, I agree. He, in my eyes, he's not fit to be an owner. Not of a football team.
All right, 1992.
Damn, so that's 30 years.
30 years. And this much disarray, and yeah, 2 years ago they were a little bit competitive. They got knocked out the first round by Tom Brady. And then this year they fucking hit the shit again.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been 30 years. You've had some legendary players, but besides the 30 years, they went to 2 other Super Bowls and lost 2 Super Bowls. And I believe those years were in '88. They lost to Denver 42-10. I believe, is that?
No, that they beat Denver that year 42-10.
Oh, they did, and then they won. They beat Miami in '83, 27-17.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. Yep. 88 and 83. So I mean, as of 30 years ago, they were pretty competitive. So it's not like it's outside of them to become competitive again and a solid franchise. He's got to go. So I think they should be number 1 on the list. I think number 2 has to be Detroit. I understand Detroit has a new quarterback, new coach and Dan Campbell, and they had draft picks, and they're changing the culture around there and the chemistry in the locker room. Great. I'm not saying fire those guys. I'm not saying fire the GM or whatever's going on there. The Ford family's got to sell. They haven't won a championship since 1954, and that was before the merger. Since then,
that was 15 years before the merger.
Yeah, since then they've been to the playoffs one time, 1991. So since 1954, Nothing. One playoff appearance. So the merger was what, 70, 73 or something like that?
Something like 72, 73.
72, 73. So even if we exclude those 18 years, right? Okay? Exclude the 18 years. From 73 to 2022, you've been to one playoff game and lost. If that doesn't scream, sell me, or I have to, like, I think the NFL should, basically what we're getting at here is I think the NFL should have a clause with their owners. Look, you get.
1970 was the merger.
All right, so 1970. So in 52 years, they haven't done a motherfucking thing.
You have one playoff appearance in 52 years. It's like, yo, you guys are the laughing stock of the league every year. You guys don't do shit. And it's like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, if I live in Detroit and I'm a Lions fan, like when I watch the Vikings and the Lions play and they're in Detroit, it's like, how the fuck do y'all go to the game every Sunday when your team literally is doing shit? Like, what are you wasting your fucking money on?
Well, some of them are season ticket holders. You know that.
Sell that bitch.
Dude, I'm sorry. If I had season tickets,
I wouldn't want season tickets to a team if they're gonna if in one time in 52 years they make the playoffs. Like, you're kidding me, right? Like, I'm really gonna continue to shell out money every year for garbage.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said maybe the NFL should have, a clause like, all right, look, you got to do something in 25 years, and what I mean is like you got to hit like a criteria. You got to go to the playoffs 6 times.
At least something like
that. Whatever they break it down to, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. If you don't meet these, we take the team away from you. You sell it, and that's it.
Yeah.
We go on to the next guy who's going to actually do something with this franchise. And like I said, if they're really about the brand like I say they are, why aren't they doing this? You get some fresh blood in there. You get new owners, new for sale. You're jacking up. It's Detroit's number 2.
But before we move on, here's another thing. It's like they're owned by the Ford company, right? You know, so we already know that Ford is, you know, for a while was, you know, or still is a major car company in America. How the fuck, like, can you just let that team, like, just be in such
it's not like you ain't got bread. You got bread. I get it. I get it. It's a cap sport. But like you brought up earlier, the way you treat players screams to the rest of the players, I don't want to go play there unless I'm drafted or unless they're paying me out the ass and I'm getting traded there. I'm not going.
Exactly.
Now, hopefully Dan can change that for them and their GM and their front office. But if they can't, and the Fords continue to hold on to it, we're just gonna. Forgive me, Detroit Lion fans. You're looking at another 52 years of fucking, not even mediocrity, of shit.
And that's crazy because I'm looking at the playoffs in that 91 season. They beat the Cowboys in the divisional round 38-6. I'm just saying, like, that's just funny.
As I got the fucking stadium back behind me, the Dallas Cowboy Avenue, the fucking Dak Press. You're a fucking asshole.
Hey, you know, I'm looking into these as we're going, and it's like, well, that's funny.
It doesn't matter who won the championship the next year.
Yeah, I know.
And then the next year.
Yep.
So, number 3 on that list. The Browns.
Yeah, I agree.
They just can't get it right as in terms of front office. They haven't been competitive since Bill Belichick. And as a recent, the last year or two? Other than that, Cleveland's been a laughingstock.
For a long time.
Since fucking Jim Brown left. Well, not like Bill Belichick left. And the team was being basically sold and moved to Baltimore. Until somebody, I believe that owner, or maybe, I believe that owner bought the team back and kept it there. At this point, you should have just let him die.
Yeah.
I yeah, it's been way too long. It's way too long. In 91, we're talking about 30 years. That hits the 30-year mark almost. 30-year mark. You
Yeah.
guys been to the playoffs since that 30 years, since the team was since Belichick left. Would you been to the playoffs 2 or 3 times?
Something like that, maybe. Figure. Damn. Yeah, I don't even know. Like you look at the span of the last 30 or 40 years. I think the Lions have made the playoffs more times.
30 or 40 years.
Yeah, because you go back to '93, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Lions have made the playoffs 8 times since 1992, so the last 30 years. I bet you the Browns have less than that, or maybe the same amount. But I'm about to check that out real quick. But yeah, no, they definitely need to.
I got it.
It's just it's like it's like if it's really about money and wanting to be successful, it's like, well, don't you make more money or get more money if your team is in the playoffs?
So in the 60s, they were pretty good. Once, nah, the Browns have more. 2020,
So
2002, 94, 89, 88, 87, 86, 85, 82, 80, 72, 71, 69, 68, 67. All right, so we're just counting from 1990, though, right?
92.
92.
So 94 they were 11-5. I'll assume they made the playoffs that year.
3 years, 94, 2002, and 2020.
So within the last 30 years, the Browns have been worse,
Yeah,
essentially.
essentially, yes.
But overall, as far as their whole organization, they've got a lot more success than the Lions do. But
So their all-time record, 38 games, 17 and 21. But don't you think if they got a new owner, somebody who could just like like we always said, sometimes a breath of fresh air and new scenery helps all the fucking different.
it really does.
You know what I mean? A new landscape, whatever, or just a new regime. Somebody, we can get behind this, this new owner, this and that, like they did with the NBA and Donald Sterling. When that whole thing came out about him, they gave him the boot, they sold it, they gave him his money. The new guy came in, new flesh and blood, pumped up. He's there at every game. He's celebrating, and it changed the whole narrative of that franchise.
What team was that?
The Clippers.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. The fucking yeah, the old white. Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
remember that story. Okay.
Instagram. Now the fourth team, the New York Jets. Reason why I say that, they haven't won a championship since what, 1971?
I believe so. Yeah. 19 or no, 69. Because that was the same year the Mets won a World Series.
All right, so 1969, right? But if we're going from 1990, in the 2000s they had some good years. All right. Oh my God, dude, they haven't been. Oh my God. Okay, so after, oh my Jesus. All right, so 91 wild card, 98 conference championship they lost to Denver, 2001 wild card, 2002 wild card in division, 2004 wild card in division, 2006 wild card, 2009 conference championship, 2010 conference championship, and
That's it.
they haven't been to the playoffs in 12 years. So I would
And
say,
they only and they finished in second 3 times in the last 12 years.
yeah. So yeah, they have some history. The Wilpons are okay owners, but I think if I'm a Jet fan and just in general what we're talking about, if like the NFL in terms steps in and is like, all right, look, you haven't done shit with this, we need to take it back. I think in 5 to 7 years, if they don't get where they think they're going out of what this coach and this team and the players, I think it's time to sell.
I don't think Woody's gonna sell though.
Yeah, but now look at the Knicks, right? Who owns the Knicks? That fucking cocksucker.
Jim Dolan.
Jim Dolan. What, dude? You need to sell. For God's sakes, you're kicking Nick Legends out of fucking of the building.
Yeah, right.
You got your they're ass backwards in terms of the way they fucking draft and the way they acquire players and trade for players. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Sorry.
Well, Pierce Johnson, Woody's son, but yeah, no, I agree. When is the last time the Knicks were in the playoffs? I
Couple.
think the last time they were in the playoffs was 2000.
Yeah, with Amari, I think. Or with Melo. One of those old guys. Oh, fuck it, I'm calling. I'm old. I'm old.
Um,
Wake up, Zion. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, we went through the other, like, the list of teams in the NFL.
oh, Google. I type in New York Knicks record year by year, and the first link at the first link at the top is Yankees season record. It's like, really?
Just
like,
fuck you.
All right, Knicks playoff history. This might do it.
So I know we're talking about the NFL, but like as we're giving different examples of different sports or teams, there should be, I'm sorry, a limit on how long you can own a franchise based on your performance with that franchise. If you're doing jack diddly shit and there's a lot of turmoil and a lot of bad shit going on, I'm sorry, you should be stripped of that team. I'm not saying that you don't get paid for it. No, you sell it, you find a buyer, or the NFL buys it out from you, and then they sell it.
Yeah. It's okay. So the Knicks have been around for 72 years. They've made the playoffs 37 times, and they've won 2 championships.
When were those? When the cavemen came out of the cave?
All right. So the past 10 years, from 2013 to 2012, they've made the playoffs twice with 1 playoff series win. Wow, they actually won a playoff series?
Oh, what an asshole! What an asshole!
The championships were 1970 and 1973.
1970, 1973.
So.
Well, just to our point, like, to this topic of discussion is, I do believe at a certain time, if you're not performing as an owner or your team isn't doing anything, then I'm sorry to the fans and to our brand, we have to take it from you. All you're doing is just making money. No one's prospering here.
Nope, you're not winning at all.
Yeah, no players really realistically we want to go there. You know, there's no really high appeal. Like, oh, come play for Detroit. We're on the up and up. It's like, oh, well, here's a paycheck. I hope to God you show up on Sunday because we're gonna get the shit kicked out of us anyway.
That's crazy.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our top 5 dead or alive, and this week we're doing MLB Catchers. Danny, let me have them.
All right, so my top 5 dead or alive for catchers. Number 1, Johnny Bench.
Ooh, all right.
Number 2, Mike Piazza.
Pizza.
Number 3, Carlton Fisk. Number 4, Yogi Berra. And number 5, Roy Campanella.
Roy Campanella. Some oldies in there. You got some oldies in there.
Yeah. There's nobody around that's playing now that compares, or even over the last 20 years, that even comes close to any of these guys.
Well, my number 1 is Pudge, Ivan Rodriguez. we're talking about a catcher. Yes, those guys were great catchers, great hitters too. Pudge was a solid hitter, you know, but defensively, he's I think untouchable is the best defensive catcher of all time. This is my top five. You know
I know.
what I mean?
Saying I'm like,
I got Johnny Bench at number two. I got Mike Piazza at number three. I have Buster Posey as number four, and I got AJ Przinsky as number five. Now
yeah,
I know he doesn't even belong on that list, you know, but I love the way he played the game, and I just love his attitude. He had that "well, fuck you" attitude. No, I'm here. Fucking stop me.
right.
No, so yes, your top five is definitely more sound than mine. Um, you know, putting Pudge at number one, that's just me. A lot of people wouldn't even have, you didn't even have Pudge on your list. Pudge is definitely in the top 10,
Yeah, a hundred
of
percent.
all time. Johnny Bench, Mike Piazza, they're definitely on that list of, the top five greatest, catchers. Uh, Buster Posey, he's in the conversation as one of the best catchers of all time, but not in that top five range.
I mean, it's possible he could be a Hall of Famer by the time his career. Well, I mean, he's right. He doesn't even play anymore, but I mean, it's possible he could be a Hall of Famer.
Buster Posey doesn't play anymore. I thought he still played.
No, he retired. I think last year or the year before. He
Yeah,
retired.
2021.
Yeah,
Hell of a career.
I mean,
And then to have AJ Przinsky on that list, people would be like, "What in the fuck is wrong with you?" He doesn't no, not even honorable mention.
yeah. Nice.
Now,
I'm actually a little surprised you stuck with AJ as number five on that list because we were talking about that last week.
well, it was between him or Posada. I was gonna lean towards Posada, but Posada really wasn't that good defensively. He was sound enough to be there.
He was good.
He was good, but he wasn't
But
great.
he great bat. Yeah, clutch.
No, great bat, clutch bat, fielding wise. If I had to choose between Posada or Pudge, I'm taking Pudge. If I have to choose between Posey and Posada, I'm taking Posey. If it's Bench and Piazza, of course I'm taking them over fucking Posada.
Right.
There's like that like what Manny Ramirez had said about Derek Jeter back in the day. You put Derek Jeter in Kansas City, who the fuck is Derek Jeter? You put Posada somewhere else, who are you?
Yeah.
You know, he may not get that exposure. Being a Yankee, I'm sorry, as a baseball player has advantages. Or
It
being
does.
or being in a market as popular as New York. If I ship your ass off to fucking like I said, Kansas City, who's he?
Yeah.
For Christ's sakes, Kansas City has been so bad at baseball that for the life of them, they're still holding on to George Brett.
I mean, he's the greatest Royals there is.
He's arguably
So
one of the best third basemen ever, too.
he definitely is. 100. Yeah. I don't know, but
All right, we're gonna move on to our last segment. Funny and hard names in sports. Do you want to lead?
I don't care.
Oh, fuck you, then I'm going. All right,
All right.
number one, Stubby Clap. I don't know why he would do that to a child, but he was stubby. He liked to clap a lot too. Now, Stubby Clapp was a Canadian baseball coach. Uh, his real name is Richard Keith. First base coach for the St. Louis Cardinals, and is also a former AAA manager and professional baseball player. He played for 11 years, most notably within the St. Louis Cardinals organization, including a brief stint in the major league with the Cardinals. So, I don't know how in the fuck you get nicknamed Stubby Clapp. Well, no, how do you get nicknamed Stubby? I don't understand. Clapp, Richard Keith Clapp. It's not that bad of a name. When you put Stubby in there, though, that is where it starts to go fucking awry.
Yeah.
Now, the next guy, Pooh Richardson. I'm sorry. Stubby's bad. Pooh's worse. There's no way I'm letting somebody call me shit. I don't even... No.
Yeah.
There's no way you're calling me fucking... You're calling me Pooh. His name is Jerome. Jerome Richardson Jr. Why? Unless I'm out there shitting on everybody, don't call me Pooh. Or unless I love honey and I don't wear pants and I'm laying down and I'm just fucking gargling honey, you don't call me Pooh. Now, he was a basketball player for NBA. He played 10 seasons. Selected first round of the 89 draft by the Timberwolves. The first draft pick in franchise history for the Wolves. So he has some fame to him. Played 10 years. He averaged 11.1 points, 44 from the field, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. Yeah. And the last one, Dick Trickle. And this is not... That's his name. There is no, Jordan, the Ronald Dick Trickle. No, that motherfucker's name is Dick Trickle. He was a NASCAR driver. That's all I'll say. If you want to look up his story, it's kind of a sad story. R.I.P. to him. But wow, what a hell of a name. You gotta be one charismatic. You gotta have fucking stones on you to be walking around. What's your name? Dick Trickle. That's like, what's that song by Johnny Cash? A Boy Named Sue.
Yeah.
His dad named him Sue. Why in the fuck would you do that to me? You'll find out.
Or like that, what movie was that? With Vince Vaughn, when he's like, oh yeah, don't go, when you go in there, don't tell him your name. Like, what's your name? Mike Pancake?
Oh, Mike, yes. Yes, Mike Pancake. Like the breakfast? Yeah. It's Swedish. No, it's delicious. Mike Pancake. That's a great name. I mean, obviously his name was Richard, but they just cut it short to Dick. But Richard Trickle, that's still not good. And then we're cutting it short to Dick?
Yeah.
I have a bunch over here, but like the one of the ones I did that blew my mind was Harry Coleman.
Yeah, I got a list of a couple more, but I'm saving them for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, but that's just an honorable mention for this week. But still, how do you do that? You threw a layup for everybody on me. And you know our last name is Colon, so why in the fuck would you name me Harry?
I think I had an honorable... Yeah. So, without looking them up, I'll tell you my honorable mention when I'm done with my list, but... So... First one is not so funny, but I like the first name. It's funny. Frosty Rucker. He was a He played in the NFL. He was a defensive lineman. He played for the Cardinals, the Browns, and I think also the Ravens, the Raiders.
All right.
He was a pretty good ball player.
Frosty.
He was.
What year was he born?
He was born in 1983.
So did his mother knowingly give birth, and the first thing she thought of was Frosty the fucking Snowman?
I don't even know.
I could only imagine Charles Barkley's like reaction to something like that. Now why in the hell would you even go there to name it Frosty when I don't even like Frosties?
And that's literally his name. Like, that's not even a nickname. His full name is Frosty Lynn Rucker.
Frosty Lynn Rucker. Oh, that's close to Frosty Lick Rucker. That sounds like what a dog does to another dog. Frosty, don't lick Rucker.
So the next one is more of a hard name to pronounce as opposed to funny. But his middle name was what kind of just got me to put it into the list. I'm gonna try to say his first name. Ekpedme or Ekpedum Friday Udo.
Ekpedum Friday, you know?
Yeah, he was the sixth overall pick for the Warriors in the 2010 NBA draft, but he didn't pan out to be anything special.
I wouldn't imagine with a name like that. Holy fuck. The announcer's probably like, I'm not even, he's not playing tonight. I'm not saying that fucking guy's name. I don't even know how to say his fucking name.
Yeah.
Shit, you say his name to me, I try to spell it, I get lost in a language I don't even know.
So
Try to, wait, hold on. I gotta see this. I gotta see this shit.
yeah, I'll tell you how to spell it.
All right, go ahead.
EKP
EKP.
EDEME Friday Udo UDOH.
Ekepedeme Friday Udo. All right.
Honestly, I just call him Edamame. Like
Edamame?
yeah, whatever. Fucking.
All right, so EKPE.
Oh, EKPEDEME.
EKPE. PD.
DEME.
God damn it. Alright, let's see how to pronounce this fucking name. Ekpedi. Ekpedi. Ekpedi Friday Udo. Yo, what's your problem? Why you gotta be so ekpedi me? Alright, who you got next? Why Friday, too? Wait, why? Wait, hold up. We didn't even get to that. Where the fuck did Friday come into that? Was he born on a Friday and you just chucked that in there?
I don't know. I'm like, you had an uncle or a grandfather or something named Friday? Like, really?
It was like the kid we went to high school with, Muhammad. What, did you think he wasn't going to be smart enough to get the first one and the second one? So, like, what's your name? Muhammad,
Muhammad.
Muhammad. Fuck, yeah. Shit. Slipped my mind.
All right, so the last one is God Shamgod or Shamgod Wells. Yeah, he played in the NBA. He played for.
That sounds like a fucking Marvel like a Marvel villain.
God
Sham me.
He got drafted by the Wizards 97-98. He played for 12 years. He was a second round pick. But there is one prominent thing about this guy. He is well known and well remembered as the originator and of the crossover dribble.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's what it says right here in the Wikipedia.
Gotcha. What? Say his name again?
God Shamgod or Shamgod, formerly known as Shamgod Wells.
I swear, I thought you were gonna say Shamgod Wow. Literally, in my mind, what picture was that guy, Billy Mays with the OxyClean?
Yeah.
I'm Shamgod Wow, and this shit'll take anything out of your fucking wall. Who's your honorable mention?
Sleepy Jones.
Was he tired?
I didn't look him up, but I was reading a list of names, and I didn't look him up because he was an honorable mention, but
Sleepy Jones.
and it's like Like you try to even Google it, and it's like it just gives you like a bunch of like pajamas and stuff for women, and seriously,
He's I look up Sleepy Jones. I'm getting fucking most comfortable pajamas you'll ever wear. Fucking-
like it's crazy.
All right, so as far as we know right now, Sleepy Jones sells pajamas. He
Yeah,
once played a game of wiffle ball in the back of fucking the Sandlot that was just so fucking memorable. We still talk about him today.
but if I remember correctly, I think he did play. Um, he did play in the NBA, but it wasn't a long career for sure.
Sleepy Jones.
'Cause I don't even know. No fucking clue who this fucking guy is.
Was he a boxer? Oh
I
no, Jesus Christ! I just got boxers actually. I'm a fucking moron.
okay, yeah. Here he is. I found him. Took a minute. Um, wow, like really? So his original. Wait, no, this is not that guy. This is somebody else. Yeah, no, this is the guy
I
right
can't
there.
even
Yeah,
fucking find him.
yeah, right here. This is the article I think I found him in that too. But he played for the Mavericks at one point. Oh wow,
All right.
that's another. Well, that's another name I'm gonna save for next week maybe. Cause I like that other one that they showed.
Oh, now, Danny, we do have a new NHL champion,
Oh yes, we do.
the Colorado Avalanche.
Yes,
First two
sir.
games, they took it to Tampa. They whipped their ass. Now,
Yeah.
I thought Tampa was gonna do what they just did to the Rangers. All right, you cocksuckers. You win two at home. I'll take two at home, and then I'll beat you on the road, and I'll take the series. You know, they stole that game three. They played good. Game four came down to that fucking that skeptical overtime call. You know, Colorado's walked out with a victory, and then the next day they cleaned it up. Went to Tampa, so
Shut it
they
down.
deserved it. You know, Tampa played great. You know, especially as the years have gone by, as they like each year that they won the Stanley Cup in the offseason, they lose a key piece. So it's not the same team from last year and the team from the year before that. So
I mean, for
props to
the
them.
most part, it is, but you know,
You still got to tip your cap to them. That's one of the hardest things to do. Period in any sport.
winning three championships in a row.
Let alone three, getting there three times in a
Yeah.
row. That's fucking hard as shit.
Like like even though they didn't win this year, you do you still consider them a dynasty? Because I do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
going into next year, if the core of that team stays together
And they can
and
get some other pieces.
they get back and they win it again next year
They're still a
or whatever,
dynasty.
or
A
2 years,
dynasty, yeah. Well, a dynasty is what, winning 3 in 10 years.
something like that.
Yeah, so they're good.
You figure the dynasty just started 2 years ago, so you figure, they still got a couple more years to try to squeeze in one more.
Yeah, they should be able to. I mean, if they competed this year, I mean, they didn't walk away with their division. You know, they fought through the playoffs. They did. I mean,
They didn't win that division.
I don't believe so, because the Rangers had a better record than them.
Yeah, because they were the higher seeding.
Yeah,
Hmm. Um, they were 51-23, and that was coming out of the Atlantic. And then you had the Maple Leafs were 54-21, and the Panthers that were 58-18.
yeah. So that's why they weren't the number one seed.
Yeah.
So I mean, just to make the playoffs, not win your division, and then go through that whole East side, and then go to the fucking finals.
The Rangers had one more win. They were 52-24. But yeah, no, they're yeah.
But I will say this: the Avalanche do remind me of the LA Kings with their dynasty. What back in the 2010s?
Yeah.
Big, fast, and just
Aggressive.
dominant. They score a lot. They shoot at the net a lot. They push up on you in the neutral zone, get you out of there. They can play defense when they want, and they're just fucking fast.
I mean, they got one of the best goalies in the league. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not. I don't know if he's elite because I don't know that much about goalies, but I mean, I remember watching one of the games. I was looking up like the top goalies in the league, and he's definitely in the top like 10 or so of best goalies in the NHL. So,
All right. Well,
a, a good
that definitely
goaltender.
contributes to a championship.
Yeah,
You know, I do think a part of me though, watching that last game, um, Game 5, Tampa looked tired. They just looked tired.
that was six. That was game 6, wasn't it? 'Cause I think it went 6.
No, went 5. The Avalanche won the first 2. Tampa won the third game.
Almost 100% sure that went 6 games, my friend. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh
Right.
yeah. 6 games. You're right. Yeah, because then Tampa won at the Avalanche, and then the Avalanche went back to Tampa and won. Yeah, you're right. I apologize. I mean Game 6. They looked tired though. They
And
looked
not even
tired.
tired, but it didn't look like they had any answers for the Avalanche.
No.
You know, I mean, I think with from what if I remember correctly, watching that game, I think throughout the whole third period, I think they had like 1 or 2 shots on goal.
Yikes.
I mean,
Yes.
regardless, that's definitely not going to get it done.
No. 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 Not in a
So
game like that. But still, congrats to them. Congrats to the Avalanche. You know, good year. You know, they win now. We'll see if the Avalanche can go on their own run. See if they can be the next dynasty or whatever.
yeah, I mean, I think
And I have heard from a few Devil fans that the Devils are not far off from being a contenders themselves within a year or two. They have some young guys coming up.
uh, yeah. I mean, I was looking at their roster, but I don't know. Obviously, I don't know who any of those guys are, and I mean, from what I've read, they have a nice little young core, but it's like, with developing and, adding in other pieces, they definitely have to get a goalie for sure.
Well, I think honestly, to be honest, I understand hockey. You know, you got to have shooters, you got to have guys to put it in the goal. But I think priority number one is always should be goalie.
Yeah,
You know, you can shoot 100 times, you may only score 20 times, or 10 times, right?
right.
Well, if I got a goalie that could limit that to whatever, like say the 20 times, right? That can cut you down to 12 times or 15.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm excited for Olympic hockey now.
When does that start?
I think it's the Winter Games. We will be covering curling. I'll tell you that,
I think the
motherfuckers.
Winter Olympics just passed.
Did it?
This past
No,
winter.
no. Winter season. I think it's here.
Winter Olympics 2022 was February 4th to the 20th. So it's every 4 years. So 2026 will be the next time.
Oh, shite.
Yeah.
Well, that
So
sucks.
yeah, I like watching curling. That's honestly really the only thing I enjoy watching.
I do like water polo.
Never watched
They
it.
be beating the shit out of each other in that pool, man. With that
Do
like
they?
volleyball and like a net. They're playing in like an 8 foot deep pool, so you can't touch the bottom. You know what I mean? And it's 2 nets and a ball. Man, they dunk each
Right.
other. They kick the shit out of each other, man, playing that game. And they be whipping that fucking ball. Fucking wow. So when's the fucking Summer Olympics?
2026, I think.
2024.
Like, but what event during the Summer Olympics like?
Volleyball.
Eh,
Uh,
I
Basketball.
don't really care.
Uh,
They just
Diving, synchronized diving, and diving. That's pretty fucking.
diving.
Yeah, and then you got the gymnastics. Some of the gymnastic stuff is cool to watch. The fucking girls be wailing on them bars.
Definitely super athletic and limber, or whatever you want to call it.
Limber.
Um,
Stretchy.
what are some? All right, so archery. Oh, that was no, that they don't do that no more. But swimming, athletics. I think they're bringing baseball back to the Olympics.
I don't understand why it wasn't an Olympic sport to begin with.
Basketball since 1963. There's a thing called breaking, or break dancing. They just
Yeah,
added,
they just added it.
and I'm like, really?
I'm a little
Like, how the
interested.
fuck is breakdancing an Olympic sport? Like, really? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
All right, for the sake of it, for the last 10 minutes of the show, we'll dive into that. Is cheerleading a sport then?
It's technically, like, when you look at it, it's qualified as a sport because, you have cheerleading teams, so they compete against other squads. But in the way that we look at sports, it's not. I really don't think it is. I don't care what Wikipedia says. I don't consider it a sport.
I'm so sorry right
Do I
now
amuse you?
because I'm just when you like squad versus squad. Fucking, I'm seeing Bring It On in my head all over again.
Yeah.
It's burn. It's cold in here. Look, by the definition, yes, it's a sport. For me, I don't count it as a sport because it's not head to head. It's you and a judge.
Yeah.
So it's more or less like you're competing. Yes, you're competing with other squads, but you're competing against the judges. Like you're not like I would now if it was squad versus squad, like right in front of each other. You run a routine, I run a routine. 2 routines each for each of us, right? And then the judges, disclaimer who won, and then it's bracketed out, and then it leads to a championship. Well, then
Yeah.
fuck yeah, it's a sport now because you're competing against one another. In that way that they have it, I don't find it really as competitive as another sport.
I mean,
So,
I'm not saying it doesn't require athleticism
oh,
and
100% it does.
coordination and whatnot, but it's like you're doing twirls and spins and fucking pom poms and fucking like, come on, man, like the fuck.
Oh, BMX freestyle, beach volleyball, BMX racing, boxing, canoe and kayak,
There's a bunch. I'm looking at this whole list. There's definitely, they should definitely bring back competitive shooting.
handball, golf, fencing, judo,
Um,
hockey. Yeah, hockey. Karate, marathon swimming, mountain biking, modern pentathlon, whatever.
like
Pentathlon,
I would definitely watch competitive shooting, 100%.
rugby, sailing, shooting, skateboarding, sports climbing, swimming, surfing, taekwondo, tennis, track, weightlifting, water polo, wrestling. Yep, water polo. There you go.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of sports.
Some they don't do anymore, but
Yeah. Well, they got the 3-on-3 basketball. They have archery.
no, they don't. They still do it since 1972. Okay.
What blows my mind is they really have badminton. Now, my wife loves badminton. I fucking hate badminton.
It's like,
That little fucking birdie, the
yeah,
little
with
fucking
little,
racket, and you
yeah.
always get caught in the fucking net. And then somebody fucking absolutely catches this birdie directly where, that little ball is on it. And they fucking launch that fucking thing and it goes fucking, you can't find it. It's in a
or
tree.
it's stuck in a tree or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. But if you rock badminton, that's all on you. Hey, man. Like, I like cornhole. You can
To
say the
each his
same.
own.
You can say the same thing about cornhole. Oh, you two fucking morons throwing fucking sandbags in a
Drunk as
fucking
shit,
hole.
just fucking yeah.
I like it. I like to think I'm pretty dang good at it.
I mean, I've seen some competition on, I think it was on Peacock or something like that, one of those streaming services where it was I don't know if it was colleges, but there was a competition and I was on, and pretty interesting, pretty fun.
Those fucking guys are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
They don't miss. And when they miss, like that miss is like a good shot to me. That was a good bag. So I mean, it's hard to peg what a sport is. I mean, I think it's all about perception and your opinion. You know, everybody's entitled to it. You know, there's probably some women out there, or most definitely like my wife, that would say cheerleading is 100% a sport.
Right.
But just just for the kicks of it and the logic of it, how is it a sport when you perform at a sporting event? Wouldn't that like? So you're saying it's a sport within a sport? No, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are
Yeah.
gonna say I'm being a dick right now. I'm just saying, for the sake of it.
Last I checked.
Last I checked, anytime I seen a cheerleader, I was at a sporting event for other athletes.
Exactly.
So for
Yeah.
me, that's why I would say no. But under the definition, yes, it is. Like some people say, well, how is pool? You know, how is pool sport? Well,
'Cause you're competing against
yeah,
another person.
another person, one on one.
But usually it's teams. You got, I don't know how many people on your pool league teams.
Oh well, the way they do it for like the pros is like you have singles, then you have doubles, then you have teams. So it's every like you have like a team of players, like 1 through 5, like 5 players each, and you go through the order of shots. So they have all that. They have 9 ball, everything. Now I was always now they had like the Europe Cup, the Moscone Cup and stuff like that. I was always why isn't pool in the Summer Olympics? Why isn't billiards a summer sport?
Because I think it's something that can get played all year round,
Yeah, okay, but so you could put it in the fucking you could put it in either category you want, summer or winter
or both.
or both.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it bring more eyes to the sport if it's an Olympic sport? And now that nowadays that we have all these goddamn fucking channels that have it when it's on, Jesus Christ, it fucking it's all you go through is Olympics, 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 and it's different shit. Back when I was a kid, it was one fucking channel.
Yeah, that would be dope.
What?
You've ever seen American Ninja Warriors?
Yeah.
They might include that into the 2028 Summer Olympics.
Oh,
I mean, I
that's
don't really
interesting.
consider it a sport, but it's like, yo, that. I just like that shit in general. So
I just
I
like
do.
that shit because I fucking love it.
I watched that before, but like, yo, I would love just to try a course like that. Fuck it if I fail. It just looks fun.
Fun. Well, what was that on TBS? They used to have that show where they would run those obstacle courses, but the people would get the shit kicked out of them, and it would be those 2 guys just laughing their ass off at them.
American Gladiators?
No. You're fucked up. No, it wasn't American Gladiators. It was like an Asian show. But it had like these white guys narrating these 2 Asian guys watching these people run this like obstacle course, and they're getting the shit kicked out of them while they're running it. Like people would come out like before they would like go and start the obstacle course. They would be like, oh, like I guess in their language, like, oh hi, blah blah blah, ma, da 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 da. But they would narrate over it and be like, I'm gonna bust my ass, and then go about their on the fucking obstacle course and just absolutely eat shit. I mean, I've seen the American Ninja Warrior. That would be interesting. I'm not opposed to it.
I definitely watch it because then you have some. Then you're gonna have the top, well, or quote unquote, you're gonna have some of the top athletes from all these countries competing in it.
Hey, shit, man. Tag is a professional game now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, those motherfuckers are dirty at that shit. They are dirty. You ever watch a tag match, a professional tag match?
Oh, where they slide under the.
Oh, them boys be wildin', bro.
Yo, yeah.
Hey, woof.
I've seen that.
I
Yeah.
remember watching with Mary one time. I'm like, one slip and they're catching a ball right to the fucking head. And then, be honest with you people, that's why I watch. I want to see somebody make a mistake. I want to see somebody bust ass.
Yeah. It's funny.
One of them running, look behind you, and fucking bar, bing.
It's like that. It's like Mr. Hurley from Big A. Hell yes.
Hell yes. I'm down for them expanding the Olympics. I'm just, it's every 4 years, but I think isn't it every 2 years?
The Olympics? No, every 4.
No, it's every 2 years. Every 2 years, because we're getting in 2024. So the summer happened 2022, right? We missed it, right?
Yeah.
So in 2 years, the winter will happen, right? In 2024. Then 2 years after that, the summer will happen again. So that's 4 years. It's every 4 years for each season, summer and winter, right?
Okay.
So it's essentially the Olympics is every 2 years. Every 2 years you get an Olympic event, either summer or winter.
So you figure the next one is going to be the winter.
Yeah.
I mean the summer 2024, and then
no, the winter is 2024.
Because I was just looking at it, it said if the next winter summer Olympics is 2024, the next one after that is 2028. Because the last time the Winter Olympics was there was 2018. And then 2022.
Yeah. So it's 2024. Winter Olympics is February 6th, 2026. So that's the 2 years after that. So then essentially we just had the Winter Olympics that passed.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2 years we'll have the summer.
Yep.
It should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna want to watch the competitive shooting. I mean, I'm definitely gonna want to check out some of those competitions.
There is some fights this weekend.
Is there?
So we may be popping up to you guys, or one of us, to narrate the fights and let you guys know what's going on. We'll let you know on our Twitter. But thanks for joining us this week. You guys have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
Okay. It's been real. It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. And fuck off, you filthy.